Greetings, and thank you for joining us for the 41st episode of DC Animation with Spencer and Friends. This is an LMG Podcast Production. Today, I'm joined by dear friends. I have with me today, worldwide himself, Brandon.
Sir,
What's going on?
worldwide. Yes, sir. We here. We in here. Doing good.
And I also have with us today my dear friend, Larry.
What it do? This is Larry P back again. We on this last chapter. Yeah, we finally at the end to record the conclusion of the DCM. Man, that's Spenser and we the friends.
Hey.
Indeed. Indeed. It was very, very important that I had you two gentlemen on this episode because both of you essentially represent the beginning of this for me. So Brandon appeared on my very first episode of DC Animation with Spencer and Friends.
Nice.
And Larry is my true OG when it comes to the DC animated movies. Larry and I watched a lot of these together as they were releasing. And so with these, again, Larry and I, we go way back.
Good times. Good times. Oh boy. No bills wasn't shit. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a time indeed. There was no COVID. For the most part, like this is the COVID movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but all right. The people have heard you two talk about your DC consumption at length, I imagine. Both of you have appeared on multiple episodes. And so I appreciate you for joining us on this journey through DC Animation. Today's film is Justice League Dark, Apokolips War, released May 5th, 2020. And the comic books on which this movie is based are Final Crisis and Darkseid War. I'm going to read a synopsis in my own words, and then we're just going to talk about it. And so, we open with Zatanna and Constantine enjoying a morning together before being called into the Justice League morning huddle. They bring everyone up to speed on the Darkseid situation. Instead of waiting for Darkseid's next attack, they are going to pull up on him. Problem is, Darkseid used Cyborg to join the Zoom meeting, so he's aware of their entire plan. They pull up on Apokolips, and Darkseid has an army of Paradooms ready for them. We are taken to 2 years later, and Earth is a hellscape. Constantine is drinking heavily when he gets visited by Raven and Superman. They are attacked by parademons, but luckily Constantine and Etrigan are able to take care of it. Superman is powerless because Darkseid gave him a kryptonite tattoo. Superman and Raven recount the story to Constantine since he ran away from the fight after seeing what happened to Zatanna. Darkseid is sending Reapers to Earth to extract from Earth's core, and Batman has been put in charge of overseeing this operation. They have Constantine use a locator spell to locate Damian Wayne. Lex is kind of the district manager for Darkseid's operation and assures Batman that everything is moving on schedule. And Raven teleports the squad to the League of Shadows, where they find Damian. Trigon is making things really difficult for Raven, and Damian recounts his experience with the attack. Superman and Raven want to see if Damian can unbrainwash Batman. He agrees to help, and the squad go to Stryker Island to meet up with Lois. Lois and Harley are engaged in Fight Club combat, and Lois comes out with the W. With that W, the Suicide Squad will help fight the good fight. They go over the plan to hit the Reapers and use the boom tube at LexCorp to get to Apokolips and destroy it since Darkseid will be on Oa. The two Reapers are attacked, but Paradooms are not showing up yet, so Constantine visits Swamp Thing and has him hit the third Reaper, which does trigger the Paradooms to be sent to Earth. The squad makes it to Lex himself, just to find out that Lex is the sleeper who's been feeding information to Lois all along. The squad splits up, half go to Apokolips and half stay back to protect the portal. Batman alerts Darkseid of Lex's treason just as Darkseid finishes destroying Oa. The squad arrives on Apokolips and they are attacked by Darkseid's Furies made up of reprogrammed cyborg-infused League members. Wonder Woman defeats Etrigan in a 1v1, and Constantine is able to use Wonder Woman's lasso of truth to break her from Darkseid's control so that she can start going to work on the remaining Furies. The squad finds that Flash is being used to generate the power for Apokolips. They are able to save him, and Constantine learns that it was Flashpoint that got us to this point. Then they find Cyborg as the source wall, but Constantine undoes his reprogramming, which frees him along with the Furies. Then Darkseid and Batman show up. Darkseid orders Batman to kill Damian, and Batman beats Damian's ass. But before killing him, Batman breaks free and attacks Darkseid. Darkseid then kills Damian, which causes Raven to lose control of Trigon. Constantine releases the gem from Raven's forehead and summons Trigon, offering to be his host. Trigon instead uses Superman as a host, necks Constantine, and strips the kryptonite from Superman's body, giving him his powers back. Trigon and Darkseid get to throwing hands, and Batman has his final words with Damian, so he thinks. Lois calls to have her final words with Superman before LexCorp detonates. With that, Superman is able to purge Trigon, and Darkseid is able to trap Trigon. Now, it's Superman versus Doomsday, so Superman starts putting a pause on him. Over in heaven, Zatanna tells Constantine that the reason he ran away was because Batman had her put a spell on him just in case shit went south. Constantine wakes up and Raven is able to revive Damian. Cyborg can get everyone home and send Darkseid and the Paradooms to nowhere, but Darkseid needs to be distracted in order for this to all happen. So Raven and Constantine truly free Trigon, and he starts throwing hands with Darkseid so that everyone can escape. Cyborg then plunges Apokolips into a boom tube, going nowhere, and there we are. Back on Earth, Batman informs everyone that the Reapers siphoned 31% of the core, which has compromised Earth's rotation. Billions will die before they're even going to be able to come up with a fix, if they even are able to come up with a fix for this. Constantine talks to Flash and convinces him to run it again, because even if the do-over is bad, it has to be better than this. And that right there's the movie.
Very nice. Very nice.
So, Brandon, what'd you think of the movie?
Man, Larry said it before we started. Masterpiece. I thought for this to be the final thing of this universe, which I love this universe, I mean, it tied it up in a very nice bow. Like, honestly, like, it did it perfectly. It gave me everything I wanted. As Spenser said, I've been on other episodes where, you know, Justice League Dark is probably my favorite Justice League, even though I love the actual Justice League. But I love Constantine. I love that world. So I thought the mixing of that world and our normal Justice League was beautiful. Bringing in the Suicide Squad, just so many different elements. We'll talk about Swamp Thing. He always shows out. But I just thought the movie just hit everything it was supposed to. And then it had like little stuff that just shocked you, the Trigon thing. Like, it was just little stuff that was like caught me off guard. I was like, damn, like they went that route. That was smart. So I thought overall, masterpiece. Great way to end it.
Larry, what'd you think of the movie?
Man, it's like my fourth time watching this movie, probably. I try to put for everybody who has jumped on Spencer's podcast for this, and you've been a part of, if you've been on an episode that was a part of the DC animated movie universe, this is where we're in right now, you really should like watch the movies, listen to what Spencer got going, and then you'll see how like how this compares to everything else. This is the ending. The movie was the movie was great. I know it. I'm gonna talk about it. It gets me. It be getting me. We'll talk about it when we get to talk about it and stuff. But no, absolutely, I always enjoy this for a multitude of.
Excellent. Excellent. I mean, I'm sure it goes without saying, this movie is so good. I am gonna have to make the comparison because, again, as we've discussed and as I have made this podcast for, DC animation is top tier. It's excellent. It is cinema. And I want to stress the importance of animation, and I want to, speak against anybody who thinks it is a lesser medium. Now, this is pretty much DC Animation's endgame because we have, as Larry said, there have been many movies that I have already discussed that exist in the same universe. And this movie is the culmination of all of that. And there are so many things that they put into this movie that pull from the previous movies. And I will touch on some of those things as we move through discussing it. But it's just so good. And I honestly, I think that because animation is viewed as a lesser medium is the reason DC is not putting all of their focus and attention. Well, and they kind of are, maybe, but like they should be putting the resources into these movies like they try to do for their live action movies. Like this should be their primary media, in my opinion, because it's excellent. Like most of these movies are very good. Of course, there's a couple misses in there, but that happens with any body of movies with this many films in it.
Oh, absolutely.
Like you're gonna have some misses.
You got a franchise. You're gonna have this.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like I wouldn't even call any of them like hard misses. Like they're just not as good. Like they're not tens. That's the thing. But a lot of nines, a lot of eights, a lot of sevens in here. And it doesn't really get a lot lower than that for this set of movies. And again, you can listen through me discussing all of them. I highly recommend watching all of the movies that exist in this universe. Again, I will discuss some of them if you already haven't, but they are absolutely worth your time. And so, we've kind of already talked about it, but what do we think of the art style here? Brandon?
I really like this art style. I think I prefer it over the new DC animation art style that they kind of re-upped with.
Same.
But yeah, I've always liked this art style. I remember watching Justice League War, and I was like, "Ooh, I like this." You know what I mean? I like this style. I love the regular Justice League Unlimited. That animated universe style. I love that. But this was a different way of doing it, but I still really liked it.
Excellent. Larry, what do you think of the art style?
So this is my first time jumping on your podcast talking about this universe. I don't think I've been. Yeah, because what I did, we did the Dark Knight Returns, which was standalone stuff or whatever. So this is my first time, so y'all hear my opinion on it. Okay, so we start out with Justice League, the Flashpoint Paradox, okay? And the Flashpoint Paradox, for a long time, when it first came out and stuff, I thought it was a standalone 2 until I was like, oh shit, this is part of it. And there's a reason why. They had different voice actors, and it had a different animated style.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So that first movie's animation style is not the same as from War all the way until Dark Apokolips War. Right. All of that's the same, but it don't bother me. It did. A lot of things when me and Spenser first watched it, we had a lot of things to get used to because even though the Batman in Flashpoint was his dad, we still had Kevin Conroy. We still had a lot of OGs that came back, and we was like, yeah. And then War came through, and then me and Spenser was like, where's Kevin?
Who are these new
Right.
niggas?
Right.
Yeah, who are these new niggas?
Yeah, what's happening? You know, so it just like you guys have been saying throughout this whole podcast on this universe, it grew on me, of course. Hey, we 7 years in. At this point, we started in 2013. We in 2020. We 7 years into it now. It's fine. Yeah, you know, you get used to it, and this is something that I love. So yeah, the animation is nice. It's and you mentioned, Brandon, that it is better than what's coming next, and we'll talk about that at the end of this and stuff. But yeah, no, this one is, if it's not number one, it's top three for sure.
Yeah,
it's top three for sure.
Okay. You know, I've said it several times. I love this art style. It could be my favorite art style. There are some things that I don't like. Like I'm not a fan of like Superman's costume in this one.
Same.
Yeah.
But like this animation style, one of my favorite things about it is it lends itself to excellent fight choreography.
Yeah.
Like the fight choreography that they put into this unit, it's so good. And we see some of that. But Larry already brought it up. The voice cast in this is different, but it took some getting used to. There are a lot of people that we have seen across movies in this, and then there are some people that were swapped out. I will say, voice cast wise, not the choice I would have made for Darkseid.
No. This Darkseid was Tony, right?
Yeah, Tony did this one.
And who did the Darkseid from War?
He didn't do a lot of talking in War, and I think that was kind of on purpose because in War, like his voice was like grumbly, and it wasn't like a real voice, if that makes sense. But
yeah,
I'm pretty sure that Sub-Zero was Darkseid in War.
See, he would have been, Sub-Zero, Wolverine. What does that do his name? I can't do his name right now.
Steve Bloom?
Yeah, that's it. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, Steve Bloom. Yeah, he would have been very great. Okay, was Tony in Death of and Reign talking?
I'm pretty sure he was.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. I wouldn't have gone Tony too, but you know,
because he's a good villain, but not Darkseid.
If they would have brought your boy, if they would have brought Andre,
yes, that is my Darkseid.
It would have been. Y'all should have went to go get Andre, but hey, you want to do this? Absolutely.
Yeah. R.I.P. to Captain Holt. But yes, that is who it absolutely should have been. It 100% should have been Andre. Because again, that's my Darkseid.
Yeah.
And, you know, I talk about that in an earlier episode, but yeah, I loved him as Darkseid. He was so good.
He was. That's true. And it makes a big difference when the voice don't hit you the same, especially for your big villain.
Mm-hmm. I will say, I like Trigon's voice in this movie.
Oh yeah. Trigon, it matched.
Now it was not the same Trigon that was in the movie that Trigon comes from, and the whole like how we get to Raven's situation is
Justice League
versus Teen Titans. I almost said Judas Contract, but Justice League versus Teen Titans. And I'm pretty sure that the Punisher voices him in that one. And
which Punisher?
John Bernthal.
Oh, Bernthal.
Yeah,
that's true.
It didn't hit like it needed to. And that's nothing against John Bernthal's performance. It just that wasn't the role for him.
Yeah.
But in this, I think John DiMaggio voiced Trigon.
Okay, I'll see you, Bender.
Yeah, and John DiMaggio, like, you know, he's been all up and through DC. He can do what he wants. But he made more sense to me in this one. Otherwise, I think everybody was pretty the same. Like everybody like maintained their voice roles. Brandon, did you have any feelings or opinions about Swamp Thing's voice?
I'm trying to think. It wasn't really that memorable. Like it wasn't. I don't know. Like I feel like okay, what am I? Justice League Dark. I feel that was a different person, right? In that one,
No, I'm pretty sure it was the same guy.
same guy. Okay,
And I think that he just kind of does, because I know that he's John Stewart in this universe, and John Stewart has very few lines in
yeah,
this universe, but I think that he just kind of does any like large, deep voice that needs voicing.
gotcha. Yeah, I didn't mind it. I didn't mind it at all. I loved the part that Swamp Thing played, but as far as voice specifically, I didn't mind it.
Okay.
It didn't take away from anything.
Cool, 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 cool. Okay. All right. So, we can go ahead and talk about this thing. So, we open with Zatanna and Constantine just enjoying the morning. And, Zatanna keeps saying, remember. And we don't know what that means yet. But remember. And so they're called into the morning huddle, just kind of talking about, we joined the Justice League. So cool. Excellent. I love it. I and I don't need to say this, but I'm going to, because I need to say it every time. Shout out to Matt Ryan. That is my Constantine.
Shout out to Matt
Oh
Ryan.
yeah, 100%
Matt Ryan is the only Constantine I ever need.
Oh,
ever.
Like he live voice doesn't matter. He's the only Constantine
if
I
Matt
need.
Ryan dies in real life, Constantine needs to go away.
Constantine's dead.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
I don't need another
All
one.
across the board. Live
Yep.
action, anime, everything.
All of it. Yeah, I'm good. So, they're called into the morning huddle, and they are going over the Darkseid situation. They basically say Darkseid has attacked the Earth twice, and there are two movies that are referenced here. Justice League War is the first time Darkseid attacks, and that's what brought the League together, which Clark mentions. And the second time was in Reign of the Supermen, where Cyborg Superman shows up, because it was actually Darkseid who sent Doomsday to the Earth in that film. So in this universe, Darkseid is the one who got Kryptonian DNA and
Got it.
created Doomsday.
That threw me off. I didn't remember that one. So I was like, wait, that ain't Darkseid creating Doomsday? That don't make sense.
Yeah,
You
so
know,
in
but
in in
okay.
this universe, that's how Doomsday got here. And I talk about that in Death of and Reign of, because
Gotcha.
those are the movies where that happens.
Mhm.
And so basically, Doomsday was sent as a test. Like, can he do it?
Yeah.
And when it was pretty successful, Darkseid was like, "Oh, say less."
It was honestly, that's a smart writing idea just because as we talk about later, like creating the paradooms, like that made it, I mean, you basically used Doomsday and then you were able to use that character in a different aspect later. So that was pretty smart.
Yes, agreed. I like that because it made sense here.
Yeah, it did.
Doomsday, originally Doomsday kind of just arrived, and he and Superman fought for no reason. This kind of gives Doomsday purpose, even
Right.
though he's mindless.
Right.
And so they're going over, all of the things that have happened as far as Darkseid is concerned in the previous movies. And instead of waiting for Darkseid's next attack, because we know he's going to attack again, in Reign of the Superman, that movie ends with basically they're having a Justice League meeting and they're saying, "Hey, he's not going to stop. We got to go get him." And Lex becomes a probationary member of the League in that film because Lex was very instrumental in making sure that Darkseid was not successful in his second attempt. Because whenever in Reign of the Superman, of course, Superman comes back and Darkseid learns that Superman's alive, and so Darkseid's like, "Oh, I want to put my hands on him."
Yeah.
And so Darkseid is like, "I'm coming to Earth myself." And Cyborg Superman is pissed because, Cyborg Superman hates Superman because he blames him for his whole crew dying. And so Cyborg Superman is like, "No, it's got to be me." And Darkseid is like, "How about you shut the fuck up and mind your place?" And so the Justice League is boom tubed off somewhere else. And so the only people that are really here are the other versions of Superman that have kind of come from the Superman dying, and then Lex. Like that's who we got. And so Lex is the one who's able to bring the Justice League back. And so Lex kind of saved the day a little bit in that movie. And so Lex has been made kind of a member of the Justice League. And that's kind of how he got in there. So that movie ends with the Justice League saying, "Hey, we have to do, like, we can't just keep playing defense because he's coming back." And so they put together, the meeting to say, "Hey, we got to go get him. We got to go to his house and we got to stop this thing." And of course, you can tell that Superman is taking this personally. Like, you can tell when he's talking. He's like, they sent that thing to kill me. If that thing put me down, the Earth has no hope. We have to go get him. Like, we cannot. No, it's not up for discussion. We're going to do it because there are people in the room with doubts. There are people in the room like, what the fuck you mean we're going to what?
Right.
Because they saw Darkseid arrive and how him arriving facilitated the need for a Justice League. They saw the parademons come to Earth and start fucking everything up. They saw Doomsday arrive and the entire league was defeated by Doomsday. He was too much. And so everybody's like, what the fuck you mean we're going to his house?
Right.
Like, if Doomsday put everybody down, I don't want to see the guy that made him.
Right. And I mean, he was telling them, like, I mean, we're going to get some parademons. Like, come on, man, y'all can be parademons. That's not a big deal.
Yeah, we've done that before. We know we know the weaknesses and all that. And so, there are still people with doubts that are still like, I don't know.
Yeah.
The people that are skeptical anyway are the people that are skeptical. And so in Justice League War, we see that Cyborg is created because he gets fused to a mother box, basically. And mother boxes are Darkseid's whole thing. And so Darkseid uses Cyborg to spy on the Zoom meeting. So Darkseid is painfully aware of what's happening. Now, it would be bad enough because Darkseid on his own is incredibly formidable, but Darkseid already knowing your plans?
Yeah.
We see how that goes. Like, y'all lost handily.
Y'all thought y'all was about to come to my house.
Right.
And take my cornbread. And fuck my bitch.
Yeah, like,
and I knew about it.
Yeah,
I knew about it. You thought that's what was gonna happen.
Yeah, you thought you was gonna pull up on me at home?
Yeah.
In front of my friends?
In front. Yeah, all right. Yeah, all right. Watch this. That's what I said, right?
Yeah,
watch
I got something for you. I got something for you. Don't worry about it. Yeah, come see me. Nah,
come on.
Come on. Oh. And so it was so bad, they didn't even show us what happened. They just said 2 years later.
Hey, bro, 2 years. And hold on quick. Let me go back a little bit. My girl, Superman fan Cassidy. Yes, girl, you was on a important 2 episodes of this whole thing. Your boy, Golden Boy Blue, got everybody fucked up.
Everybody. Now,
I will say, Superman understood why he needed to go do this. We're going to talk about it, but it was almost like how George Bush was so mad at Saddam Hussein for trying to kill my daddy that I'm about to just send everybody to go to his house. Yeah. Hold on. This is kind of you're kind of being vengeful right now. Let's kind of talk. So, right. Cassie, I need you to know It's your boy's fault.
I mean, all right. We got to
we
do
about
with the
to talk
Superman
about. What we're about to
slander.
get into is your boy's fault. What I'm about to graphically describe is your man's fault.
And I will say, I do love this version of Superman.
Mhm.
And I'm not mad at him for how he wanted to handle this because while, yes, it was personal and it was a little bit selfish, he was right. Like
He was.
Absolutely.
we gotta handle it. Like we can, because there are a lot of versions of Superman again that are like, super nice and be like,
Really
we'll just be
passive.
ready next time.
Yeah.
And all
Yeah.
that. No, this version of Superman said, hell no, he not coming back here
Right.
to my hat. Absolutely not. He's not going to darken my doorway a third time. And that's the
Yeah,
thing.
bro.
And I agree because the first time I defeated you, I sent you packing. Cool. I don't need to see you again. You've lost. When you show up a second time, all right, we're done here. And I said that same thing in The Killing Joke. Whenever in The Killing Joke, Batman is trying to find the Joker, and Batman finds the ladies of the night, and they say to him, "Well, when he usually breaks out, he comes here first." Ain't gonna be no usually.
Right.
If you break out once, okay, maybe that was a fluke. If you break out a second time, we're doing something else.
Absolutely.
And so this is that. Again, I 100% agree with Superman here. Like, he was like, no, he attacked again, and it got more personal the second time. Like, the first time was kind of like, it didn't really have anything to do with me specifically. He kind of just attacked everybody. That second time, no, he came for me. And I'm the best. I'm the best hope we got here.
And I got.
Yeah, and I got. I died. And so, no, not again. Not I.
Yeah, it was funny because like when they just popped right back to when they popped right to 2 years later, didn't show us what happened. It felt like, those like Instagram reels where the husband will, like the wife will ask the husband, "Hey, do I look fat in this?" And he'll be like, "Yeah," and then it'll in the arms of an angel, you know what I mean, with his funeral thing. I was like, damn, like we didn't even see it.
All they saw, if for anybody, let me picture this for you guys. If you haven't watched it, you listening. Everybody is in the ship that they went to Apokolips in, and once again, we thinking we about to go and be met by parademons.
Yep.
Whatever they see on that map, it was like, hey, what is that? These ain't no parademons.
They're too big to be parademons.
That is, and then they see it, and it's a lot, and then they find out they're parademons, and they're just like if you go into, you've seen it on movies. If you go somewhere and it's like a swarm of locusts, and they that's what it looked like. All you see was one paradoom come through the window.
Yep.
2 years later. That was it.
and let me say this about that. How I said earlier that they need to funnel more resources into this. I think that this should, much like Infinity War and Endgame, this should have been a two-part situation. And the first part should have been the plan, the execution, and the failure. And then this movie should have been part two.
I can see that.
So that's the only critique that I have for this, is that I wanted to see more than flashbacks. I wanted them to animate it for me.
I don't know if I could have handled it. To tell you the truth, I don't.
Well, that's because the flashbacks were hard to watch. Like, seeing Superman get tattooed, I didn't like it,
bro. And the creativity in which creativity that Darkseid used to torture and kill these people was wild. Like, the level of crazy to make Flash just run.
He's a menace.
You're a battery.
Yeah, you're gonna power our place.
And that's like he was very clear. There were a lot of times where he was like, "No, I need to make an example. I want to do it myself. I want to put my hand," because Darkseid, yeah, he gets in there.
Yep.
I love Darkseid. He's my favorite villain in DC. But yeah, I wanted to see it. I wanted to see again, the plan being executed, I wanted to see them arrive. I wanted them to animate all of the fighting, and then I wanted to see everybody lose and what happens to each individual person.
Yeah.
Now, we are taken to 2 years later, and Earth is in ruin. And we see that Constantine and Etrigan are drinking, and Etrigan's spirit is broken.
Broken. If y'all
Face
niggas know
down
who
the bar.
Etrigan is, if y'all know who Etrigan is, and you watch this movie, immediately you're gonna be like, "What's wrong?"
Because that's what I was like.
Something is wrong.
Because I think Etrigan's first line was something to the effect of like, whatever. And I was like, what the fuck did you just say?
Yeah.
I require a soliloquy, Etrigan.
You gotta bust a rhyme, my boy. Like, what are you
Yeah,
doing?
Boy,
he's just saying one word, 2 words. So I'm like, what the fuck
Yeah.
has happened? And so, yeah, John is like, yeah, he doesn't even rhyme anymore. Like, and I actually think that the reason for that is what happens in Justice League Dark. Because in Justice League Dark, Etrigan gets separated from Jason Blood, who's his like human host that he was bound to. And he dies. Because in Justice League Dark, we see that Jason Blood was a knight in Camelot. And he was mortally wounded. And Merlin shows up, and Merlin's like, hey, Etrigan, I need you. And so, because Etrigan was bound to Jason, he didn't die, because Etrigan is a demon and all that. And so, whenever they were separated, he was re-injured because he no longer had demon healing. And so, he died from that.
Shout out to my boy David on that one. You remember, Merlin really did some shiesty shit with Etrigan.
Yeah. He
absolutely did some shiesty shit. He said,
yeah.
hey, I need you to come help me, and then I'll do this for you. And he was like, all right. And he helped him. And Merlin did not do his part of the bargain.
It was basically like, if you help me, I will free you. And then he helped him, got the job done. And he was like, yeah, about that.
Yeah.
I'm going to free you from this, but I'm going to put you here.
Yeah, like, you're still going to be a prisoner, but not there.
Right.
So
technically, yeah.
Yeah. And so Constantine is drinking, and Raven and Superman show up. Now, your first time watching this movie, did you know that was Superman? Until we really saw.
Until he took it off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I'll say, those eyes are real green and it's shadowy. What could that be? I'm gonna say I can't remember. Let's just say yes. I had a hunch.
Okay. The reason I knew is because I heard him speak, and I was like, "Oh shit, that's Superman."
Yeah.
But looking at him, I did not know that.
Same.
Because Superman's eyes don't glow green, and
exactly. Yeah.
And so whenever I heard him, and then I was like, "Oh shit, that's Superman," and I saw his eyes were green, I was like, "Oh, Darkseid neutered him."
Your boy got bitch, Cassidy. Got bitched.
I assumed that Darkseid like took a shard of kryptonite and just like shoved it in his chest or something, but the way that he tattooed him with liquid kryptonite is crazy.
Yeah, that's correct. That's what I'm saying. The creativity, bro.
The way that he tattooed your symbol of hope.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what's even more trifling is like he didn't just tattoo him; he tattooed his own symbol on his chest.
Yeah, that's crazy.
To say, I hope you remember that I beat you, nigga. I hope you remember that.
That's what I'm saying. Like every time you look in the mirror, you'll be reminded of me.
Yeah.
Every time you try to fly, you'll think about me.
Be reminded of me.
Yeah.
Like Darkseid, he embarrassed them.
Ooh.
It is crazy. And these 2 years have been hard on Raven.
It's been hard. It's been a rough 2 years.
Yeah, like you can see the time on her. She was a teenager last time we saw her.
Everybody, like, John got a 5 o'clock after shadow. Superman got a 5 o'clock shadow.
Superman got a beard.
Superman is
Superman got a beard and a gray mullet.
what's up? Superman is this Superman right here is Brandon Routh from we ain't been there yet, but he's Brandon Routh from the Arrowverse's Superman that I've seen because
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. That's what I picture him in because I think whenever he comes there, he's that older Superman and things. Yeah. And then I was like, okay, yeah, good looking guy, hey, I get it.
Yeah, and I assume that he's gray because since there's kryptonite in his veins, he's aging relatively normally. And with we see presidents age very, very quickly because of the stress that they're under and whatever. So yeah, like Superman, like this 2 years been hard on him too. But also he doesn't have kryptonite, helping him, or he doesn't have the Kryptonian sunlight helping him stay young. And so but yeah, it's Raven is looking rough.
Rough.
You know how like when you're sick and see somebody, okay, I don't for those who's ever seen The Mechanic, I think that the machinist, maybe it's either the mechanic or the machinist, but it was a Christian Bale.
Yeah, when he emaciates himself.
Oh, and you can just see that everything they put lines in this animation to make her jaws look skinnier.
Yeah.
And they put deep bags in her eyes.
Deep bags.
Struggling.
Yeah, she's not okay.
And you'll see it because we do a flashback to healthy Raven, and then you go back and you're like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And then later, whenever she's in the white coat, you see that she's good then.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
And so they show up and they're like, hey, John Constantine, we need your help. And when he sees that it's Superman, he's like, oh, fuck you. You're the reason we're here.
Yep. Oh, I wanna say one thing real quick. I forgot to mention this part.
Okay.
At the beginning, when we were talking about when we were having the discussion of the plan to invade Apokolips. Mm-hmm. If you notice, for who was on, Kelton was on Hutch, right?
Yes.
Okay, Kelton. You see what Batman was wearing, right? You saw that in this movie. You see what he's wearing now, and then for whoever does Wonder Woman, you see what your girl is wearing now. That the outfits that they pulled for their last movies. That's what they in. I thought that was pretty cool.
That's smart. Yeah,
and
some people don't overlook that stuff too. Some even the makers of it overlook. Yeah,
I love it. And so they're there to ask Constantine for help, and Superman has no powers, as we've just talked about, and Raven is in a bad way because she's trying to hold back Trigon from just taking over, and they recount their version of events because, again, we see that Constantine ran away from the situation, and so they basically go over like, this is what happened. We arrived, and it was a bad day. And then a couple days later, he showed up on Earth, and it was another bad day.
Thanks.
And we see that John runs away, and he's not sure why he ran away, but he just knows that he did. And Raven is pissed off because Raven is like, hey, we're trying. We're doing the best we can. We are actually trying to make moves to make this thing happen, and you're just being a bitch. It's basically what Raven said to him.
Superman has no powers, and he's still putting in work.
Yeah, sure. As Superman would. Superman's a real one.
Yeah, like that again. That's Superman. That is in character for him. That makes sense. And so, Darkseid is sending Reapers to Earth. Now, we've seen a very similar thing in Man of Steel. In Man of Steel, they drop down those machines to basically terraform. Yep. And so that's not quite what Darkseid is doing. Darkseid is extracting resources. And so he's pulling magma out of the Earth's core. And we see that Batman is in the Mobius chair.
So, okay, let's get into what the hell happened to everybody. So I got this. I don't know if you guys got this down in your notes, but I do. Uh, we have, first of all, I guess we've already been here. R.I.P. to Zatanna.
Yeah, dead.
We see why John, and you watching this movie and you're kind of like, you won't understand, because I was very confused. I was like, damn, did this really scare you that bad that you let your girl die?
Yeah.
Your girl is calling your name and you dip out. They ate the Tanner.
Tanner got ate. I said the same thing. I said, John, you have gone up against all kinds of shit.
That's what I said.
Like Brandon, in the movie that we watched, Beirut,
bro, the worst.
What? This is scaring you, and you deal with devil and demons all the time.
Yeah, like, John, this is kind of what you do. Like, what are you doing running? So yeah, like, the first time I watched this, I was like, that's out of character.
Same. That's exactly what I thought. Yep.
Yeah, they devoured her. Like we said, Clark got tattooed. Clark got bitch. R.I.P. to my boy Aquaman. Aquaman was split in half.
Dead.
Boy got no minutes.
Yeah,
split in half. They took Hawkman and they ripped his wings.
Yep.
They ripped that man's wings.
And let me say this about Hawkman. You know how they turned him into one of the Furies? There was barely any Hawkman left. That was a full robot.
Bro, they might as well just take the helmet off.
Yeah, like, that was Brainiac. Like, there were no flesh parts of that one. Like, everybody else, like, the only way you knew it was Hawkman was the helmet, because and, like, the bird feet, I guess. But because Martian Manhunter, there was still flesh. Starfire, there was still flesh. Mira, there was still, but with him, there was no flesh.
Wherever he was, how far ever he was up in the air, and they ripped his wings, they was devouring him on the way down.
Yeah,
right.
That was painful. That was painful.
I don't know why he was one of the Furies. Like, there was nothing left.
No. Yeah, it really wasn't.
We got next. We got Cyborg. Cyborg got Jax.
Yep.
Which is kind of crazy, because Jax in real life got his regular arms, human arms, ripped off and got mechanical ones. Darkseid said, "No, I'm gonna take these mechanical ones and bah."
Yeah.
Damn.
Keep your hardware. Keep your mainframe.
My baby lost her arm. They cut Wonder Woman's arm off. I said, "Oh no!"
Was it with the shield?
That was really hard to see Wonder Woman got like that.
Yeah.
Yes. It was hard in Death of Superman.
Yeah.
Because in Death of Superman, like, she was kind of the last one going up with Doomsday before Superman arrived, and I really thought she was going to do something, because she's Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm.
And Doomsday was too much.
It's too much.
And so, to have a planet, a swarm, a literal swarm of these, because as Larry said, there was a wall of them coming toward them.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
Like, it would be if I saw any creature of any size in a swarm like that, that's terrifying. It could be gnats. But if there's that many and they're in a swarm, that's scary. And for it to be Paradooms?
Yeah.
No, thank you.
And they didn't even know what they were at that time. They were just
they were just like, those are really big parademons.
Right.
And then, when they got closer, they were like, oh, shit. And so Batman is in the Mobius chair. And for the people that don't know what the Mobius chair is typically sat in by Metron. Mm-hmm. And the Mobius chair essentially contains all of the knowledge that exists. And Metron usually sits in the chair and is just an observer. Like, he just kind of watches and collects knowledge and information and secrets. Like, that's what he does. And there's a comic book where Batman sits in the Mobius chair and, he basically becomes a god, because the Mobius chair, again, it gives you all of the knowledge, but it also allows you to travel between dimensions, and you can time travel. Like, you can do whatever you want in the Mobius chair, pretty much. And So Batman's in the Mobius chair, which makes sense because Darkseid recognizes Batman's intellect.
Yep.
And so, that's why he's the one overseeing things. And uh Darkseid's kind of getting onto him about being behind schedule, and he mentions Lex Luthor, and it's like Lex seems to think he would do a better job than you. And Batman is like, "Oh, does he? He's just trying to save himself." That's a waste of you, because I noticed Lex had not been reprogrammed. Lex just kind of folded.
Yeah, gave
And
in.
yeah, and that makes sense. I mean, that made sense so that he could play both sides. But yeah, like that was very Lex to whenever, because he was groveling whenever Batman was like, "I heard you talking shit, Lex." And Lex was like, "Oh, sir, I would never.
Bro, that
I'm
would
here
be
to serve you and
that,
Darkseid."
that would be so intimidating if you were on a Zoom call with your boss and he's massive.
Yeah,
Like, you know what I mean?
literally looking down on you.
Yeah, in a chair, in a throne type chair. I'm like, oh nah.
Yeah, I'm here to serve you and Lord Darkseid. But
Your grace.
so they say to Constantine, "Hey, we need to locate a spell. We need Damian Wayne." And he's like, what is his little ass gonna do?" And they say, "Well, we think that he will be able to break Batman of his mind control, because when Batman found out that Dick died, he felt that, and we saw
Yeah.
something. And so we think that Damian can bring out that same thing." And so Constantine is like, "All right, cool. Let me get a couple things and then we'll find him." And then they do. And then he's like, "It's gonna take me a while to get us teleported there because I'm starting from scratch. I don't have all my normal shit. So I
Yeah.
gotta like build it from the ground." And Raven is like, "God damn it." And teleports everybody there.
No. Raven dropped the first F-bomb.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
said, "For fuck's sake." I said,
Right.
"Oh,
I was like, "Oh, all right."
oh, we cuss it. Okay. For fuck's sake."
Cussing.
And that's the thing, like, yeah, y'all earned it. Y'all
Yeah.
earned some profanity in this
Yeah.
world you live in. And so, um, we see that Raven teleports them to the League of Shadows, and Lady Shiva walks in. We see Lady
Mhm.
Shiva in Hush,
My girl.
and Lady Shiva is like, "Intruders, kill them." And so, everybody just starts going, and Etrigan is bored. Etrigan is like, "You said this was going to be hard. It's not."
Bro, cooking, still destroying ninjas, but
Having no issues.
right.
And then eventually, Damian, shows up. And Damian is also kind of like, "Hey, Superman, fuck you a little bit. Because you're the reason we're here."
Yep.
I was skeptical from the beginning. I didn't want to do this shit, but my father believed in you. And so
Dick
Damian
told me, "Hold your tongue. Don't say nothing."
Yeah. Dick said not to say anything, and so I kept it to myself, even though I wanted to complain and talk shit, but I didn't, out of respect, and here we are. I hate you. I lost my father because of you.
Yep.
And they're basically like,
Damian is really in Damian, like who he is mode.
Because this is OG Damian.
Oh, yep. Damian put on the demon head robe.
Yeah.
And said, "Nah, the League of Assassins is mine."
Yeah, because Damian said, like, this is what it is now. And so this is what we're doing.
I am the leader.
Yeah, I'm the demon's head.
So now let's talk about that. Why we hate Superman. We got a flashback to what happened on Earth with the Teen Titans. To my Teen Titans, okay?
Yeah, because Damian says, "I lost my team because of you. I lost my family because of you."
First, we got, which I think it is, we got Wally, R.I.P.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure B, is that her name?
Yeah. Because there were a couple people just on. Bumblebee and a couple people were just lying down dead already.
Yeah. Blue Beetle is over here getting his face smashed in by two of them. They jumping him.
Yep.
You see that Starfire my girl is ripped in half. I'm hurt. My girl is ripped. I know Dick is hurt. Y'all done ripped my girl in half. If you know, okay, Teen Titan stuff. Who Leon? What up? This your movies and stuff right here. You know the relationship between Dick and Starfire. My boy hurt. You didn't kiss me. We talking dirty. You know, you congratulate me about what I do in the bedroom. Y'all didn't kill my girl. So Damien is about to get got, and Dick jumps in the way, and Dick gets impaled.
Yep, dead.
Through and they're getting impaled by a paradoom is automatic, because it's not like, hey, I impaled you with a sword. Nah, right. you got a big bowling ball size spike that's going through your body. So
right.
Yeah, like that hole is you have some stuff missing. And Damien gets knocked into the water, and of course he survives, luckily. And then we see that he used the Lazarus Pit on Dick, which tracks.
Yeah, that's true. So, I like that one. I like that. That.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like whenever we see Dick in the room and then he like turns and he's all weird, I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
So you promised me.
You promised you would never, and he was like, I had to.
Yeah, well, I lied. I'm sorry.
That's what it had to be.
I lost my dad, and he was my brother.
Right, what did you expect me to do?
I had to try.
Yeah, like he was the only person here. Like I had to do something.
Yep.
And so, hell yeah, I did it. And it didn't take.
As you see.
Because, yeah, like he didn't come out right.
Not fully cooked.
Yeah. And so we also see that Trigon says to Raven, I will kill that boy.
Oh my God. Ooh, we're going to talk about that. Ooh, we don't get there. I'll kill him.
Yeah. Ain't nobody going to be with my daughter.
Yeah.
And so they say to Damien, like, hey, we want you to come with us to try to unbrainwash Batman. And then that's when Damien goes over what happens in Bad Blood. But Damien mentions he has overcome brainwashing before.
Yeah.
Because my mother brainwashed him and he was able to come out of that. So if anybody can do it, if anyone can, break out of Darkseid's brainwashing, it's father.
Yep. I like how he dresses him as father.
That's very Damien.
Oh, hey, shout out to Juice, man, because you know how he talked to Batman. That's how he is.
Yeah, it's like distant. Father's very like distant enough, but you're still my dad. Like we still have a relationship,
Well, and a lot of times, like it's very proper, and it usually implies either like high status or a lack of involvement.
Yeah.
But he doesn't want to, but he agrees to help because he again figures like, if anybody, he's the one who can do. I believe that he can break from this. I've watched him do it, and so I'm going to help you if I can get him back. If there's any chance of getting him back, we're gonna have to do that. And so they then go to Stryker's Island, and Lois and Harley are engaged in a Fight Club type situation. Like they are. They're throwing hands, and Harley was like, "You kind of good."
Lois wouldn't stand a chance.
Absolutely not.
What are we doing?
Now, hold on. If you've been watching My Adventures with Superman, and she mentions it, I'm an army brat. You never get to know what that army brat means with Lois. But in My Adventures with Superman, her dad was very meticulous in training her on how to survive and how to do this. So she might. Now, Harley's crazy, but Lois ain't no little bitch. She was trained kind of to know how to defend myself.
Harley is crazy and incredibly skilled. Like Harley is one of the, like we see Harley be one of the best hand-to-hand around. Like Harley gets shit done.
Yeah.
And there's a reason she's the one in charge of the squad. Like she's the HBIC now. And that's another thing that's mentioned because somebody was like, how the hell did your crazy ass end up being the leader of the how did Amanda Waller hand this over to you? And she's like, well, she died.
Guess what she
Cancer.
died of? Died of
And
cancer,
died
Dallas.
laughing.
It got her, Dallas. It got
Yep.
her.
So
Yep,
in
yep.
in
I bet she
Suicide
was
Squad,
pissed. I bet Amanda was pissed. I
Oh,
thought I
yeah.
had this card and I died.
yeah, Amanda. So the whole premise of Suicide Squad Hell to Pay is that there is a card that Dr. Fate has, and if you are holding the card when you die, you will go straight to heaven, regardless of anything you've done. If you have the card and die with the card, you go to heaven. It's a get into heaven free card. The whole movie is everybody trying to get this card. So Amanda Waller wants it, Vandal Savage wants it, and Reverse Flash wants it. Also, P.S. While it's not the best Suicide Squad movie, Suicide Squad Hell to Pay was incredibly important. The reason it was so important is because if you didn't already know that Flashpoint is how we got here, that is the movie that tells you and lets you know that Flashpoint is how we got here. Because in Flashpoint, we see that Reverse Flash is, the main villain and heavily involved. And in that movie, he gets shot in his head. Whenever I saw this movie and noticed that he was voiced by the same guy and looked like he did, even though the art style was different, I was like, oh,
Yeah, yeah.
that's
What a
interesting.
Twist. Wasn't ready for that.
And so then whenever he pulls his face thing off and we see the hole in his head, it was like, oh shit, it's all connected.
It's all I am in shock watching this.
Yeah.
Like, ain't no
It-
effing way.
Like, it's directly connected. Oh shit. So Suicide Squad Hell to Pay was very important. And it's one of those movies where, like, you don't realize it's important until you watch it and then it all comes back around. Because
Yeah.
it was like, it's a Suicide Squad movie. It's not supposed to be that, it's not supposed to hold that kind of weight. It's not supposed to give you that kind of information. And
No.
here we are. That movie is very necessary to us knowing how we got here. So
Yeah.
if you've watched these movies, then Constantine is surprised, but we're not, because we know the Flashpoint led us here. And
I gotta check this out. I missed this one.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Now once again, if this is your first suicide movie to watch, good, great. It's gonna be good to watch that. There's another one, Assault on Arkham. Watch that.
I think I saw that one.
Yeah, Assault on Arkham is a better movie.
Yeah, then you're gonna be
Okay,
disappointed.
Like,
Yeah.
this movie is not as good as that one, in my opinion. It's still
No, not
good.
at all.
It's better than the first live action Suicide Squad movie, but everything is. And
That's
so
true.
yeah, this is again, that's the movie. And again, Amanda Waller is looking for the card. And the reason is because she has cancer. Because so she's like, oh yeah, I know I'm gonna die.
Yeah. I
And I
know
know
I'm
when
going
I
to
die,
hell.
I'm gonna go to hell.
Yeah, I know I'm
Yeah.
gonna die, and I know where I'm not going, so I'm gonna need that card. Like,
Yeah.
she basically says to Deadshot, if you get that card, I will free you. Like, I don't give a get the card and you will walk free. I don't give a fuck anymore. And it is 2 years later, because we see Amanda Waller in Hush. She's still like running things, and so the cancer hadn't got her in Hush yet. But yeah, by this time, yeah, she dies, and Harley is kind of happy to talk about it.
Yeah, I was like, damn.
Another thing, I saw Black Manta in the room, and in Thrones of
Okay.
Atlantis.
Yep, let's talk about it. Let's go. Come on.
In Thrones of Atlantis, I was pissed off because my nigga Black Manta starts monologuing and then gets immediately
Samuel L.
eaten by a
Jackson.
shark.
I'm tired of these hot damn sharks on this hot damn.
Yeah, gets chomped up by a shark. And so Black Manta is very, very dead. And so when I see Black Manta in the room, I'm like, what the fuck is this? You
Maybe
died.
a new person?
We don't get to see him, but
I don't know.
My
Don't
assumption,
know.
the only way that it makes sense is if that's Calder. Like, the Black Manta we do see is Calder.
Gotcha.
That's the only thing that makes sense to me. Or, the Black Manta who died was Black Manta's father. And then this is, I don't know. But I'm going with it's Calder. I don't think it's Calder because we didn't see him do any like Calder shit. But I I think that the movie forgot that they killed him.
I think so. Because he definitely died. Me and Spenser, when we watched Dark
I was
Man,
so pissed.
Like, ain't no fucking way my nigga just died.
Yeah, I was so mad. I was like, what a waste. But when that happened, I was like, all right, cool. Good to know we're not doing any more Aquaman shit. Because I think at the end of that movie, Ocean Master gets approached by Lex and is like, hey, I got this idea.
Yeah.
I don't think we ever see that. I don't think we ever see him again.
Nothing ever comes to fruition on that.
Yeah. So again, whenever Black Manta died, I said, yeah, Aquaman is not gonna be relevant anymore. Like we're not gonna see him again unless he's just at the table. And that's kind of what happened. We don't see like he didn't get his Mira got made into a Fury. He did not.
Yeah.
But I'm sure Darkseid was like, I ain't got no oceans here. So
useless.
Yeah, I don't need you. I ain't got no fish. I ain't got no whales.
That's another death I forgot to mention is Mira got her face kind of ripped apart. It was
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's tough. That was brutal.
Yeah, it was real brutal. It was like, damn, not a face. God, no, that's what makes Mira, you know? God.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so now that now that the Suicide Squad is involved and agrees to help, they go over the plan. They're like, hey, we need to hit 2 of these Reapers, and hopefully that will bring the Paradooms here. If the Paradooms are here and Darkseid is on Oa handling the Green Lanterns, that's going to be the perfect time to go to Apokolips and destroy it. So that's what we're going to do. It's like, why are you not hitting all 3? And Lois is like, because we don't have enough people for that. And I was like, that's good shit.
Yeah.
That's thinking. That's I like that was involved here.
All right.
Also, I thought that we were going to get more from it, but we see in the flashback that Cyborg specifically saves Shazam.
Yeah.
And so I thought Shazam was gonna have like an ISO.
Oh, gotcha.
And that's okay. Like,
you thought that Shazam, what happened with Shazam, and that's why Cyborg got Cyborg, is because, okay, let's compare it to this. In Infinity War, Heimdall saves the Hulk. And Thanos says, ooh, you shouldn't have done that.
Yep, that was the wrong thing to do.
That was the wrong thing to do. And then we lose Heimdall, and that's when, like I say, Cyborg did the same thing, and Darkseid is like, all right, nigga. Bow!
Yep, okay.
Yeah. I bet you won't be doing that shit no more.
Yeah, like, there will be no more of that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they say we're gonna do that, and then we will use the boom tube in LexCorp, and we'll use that to get there, destroy Apokolips, because if we destroy Apokolips, Darkseid's done. And so they're attacking the 2 Reapers, and the Paradooms aren't showing up. And so Constantine is like, I'll be right back. And he goes to see Swamp Thing.
Man.
And he astral projects there because Swamp Thing immediately tries to hit him. Like,
yeah, on sight.
Yeah, like just didn't even show his face, just showed his fist.
Because if you know, David, like it's on site.
It is on site.
That
Swamp Thing
hates Constantine.
I hate you. And so yeah, Swamp Thing or Constantine is like, I bet you're happy that all the people are gone. He's like, yep, they got what they deserved. And then John is like, well, the problem is Darkseid's going to destroy the green because he's going to destroy the Earth. And that's the thing he's going to use to do it. And Swamp Thing is like, not on my land.
Right.
And one of the things that we see is that Swamp Thing is capable enough to have handled one of those by himself.
Yep. I love that.
There were entire squads that couldn't take down a Reaper.
Yeah.
And there's a reason why. So Mission and Swamp Thing again. I don't know if Swamp Thing could just in Justice League Dark, Swamp Thing, in my opinion, died. I don't know. Maybe it's the green and it's the magic.
I don't think Swamp Thing's ever truly dead.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe he just got, I can't fight anymore because he kind of did this to me. I got to go recover.
Yeah, but he did get fucked up in Justice League Dark.
It was. I thought he was gonna do something, and Nightmare was like, "Nigga, what?" I was like,
yeah,
oh.
yeah. Destiny. Yeah, because Destiny.
It wasn't Nightmare.
Yeah, he pulled his human out of him.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh no, not Alec."
That's what I thought. I was like, oh dear, what are we gonna do now?
So yeah, so we have a team in China, and the team in China is we got Superboy, we got Steel, and we got Shazam. Okay, so Shazam is back,
and these are heavy hitters.
What happened to Shazam in the earlier flashback was Shazam lost his leg. They ripped Shazam's leg off. These Paradoom's guys, they weren't playing.
Not playing.
What Doomsday did in the Death of Superman and what these guys are is on a totally different. No, bow with boom. So yeah, so now he has a pretty cool leg. In my opinion, it's
just light.
It's a magic leg of lightning.
Yeah. It's just a lightning leg. Yeah, and I was like, okay, let's go.
I wasn't gonna ask no question.
And I was gonna say, what I wondered was like, so does Billy only have one leg?
Oh damn.
Good question. That's really good. On the other team we got is the North Sea team, and we got Orchid. We got Batwing, Woman, and Batgirl. So not really not
a squad.
Best squad.
Like there's a reason they sent Orchid with them.
Yeah.
That's the
not a great
JV squad
there. But I mean, they got to do something, and they did the best they could. But there's a reason that Batman was like, "All right, we lost that one. Focus on the other two because that one it's done. Nothing we can do.
Congo was done.
Yeah. Swamp Thing, he was too much. Sorry."
So
and it's so funny because now that everything is a shit show, Damian gets to cook like he wants to. Because Damian, because they pull up on Lex Luthor and he's got a bunch of armed gunmen and all that. And Damian has been living the Batman life, not vengeance, justice, we don't kill and all that. Damian brought the swords today because Damian is like, no, we're doing this. And Superman can talk that shit if he wants to, but I'm killing people today. And so Damian gets, and that's he's been with the League this whole time.
Right.
So Damian, he gets to cook like he wants to. And so eventually, because we see, everybody's working. One thing that I did forget to mention, evidently, Constantine was in a relationship with King Shark in this one.
Yeah, which has always been kind of weird to me because they make King Shark a dude sometimes, and then sometimes it's a girl. I don't know what Nane really is.
I didn't know King Shark was ever a girl because it's King Shark.
And she says it. King Shark is a shark.
Yeah.
Not Queen Shark. King Shark is a shark.
And the only way that I'm like, well, maybe is that Valkyrie, I think, is the king of New Asgard. Mm-hmm. And Valkyrie's absolutely a she.
Yeah, okay.
And king is just the title, I guess. It's kind of like emperor. Yeah. Or I guess no empress, so never mind.
I don't remember Shark Thing being a man, but I remember sexually going back and forth.
Yeah, I don't remember King Shark ever being a female. I've only seen King Shark as a dude.
I don't know. Maybe John was just on some freaky shit. I don't
Well,
know.
and that's the thing. John is free. John does what he wants.
Oh,
Like,
John be
John gets it in
magical
where he can.
creatures. Yeah, anybody can get it. But John, like,
So yeah, like John, he doesn't really discriminate.
yeah.
So
And
now
so I was like, that's interesting. Just because King Shark isn't magical, at least as
Right.
far as we know. Uh, and so that's why it was like interesting. Okay. But anyway, it doesn't super matter. But I did think that was funny because that's something like there are a lot of iterations of King Shark in the Suicide Squad. Like King Shark is kind of just a part of the Suicide Squad lately. I will say the Harley Quinn version of King Shark, I like that one.
That's way better.
he's funny.
Yeah. Because they got Ron doing it.
Yeah.
But they, kill all of Lex's guards, and then Lex shows up like in a little mechanical suit, and he's like, "Hey, you shouldn't be here." And then they pretty easily deal with him.
Max it out of Damien, and Raven loses it.
Yeah. That was the wrong thing to do.
The wrong thing to do, boy. I was like, oh God, they're gonna kill him. Stop it.
Yeah, Raven was gonna kill him. And so once Lex is like pretty much defeated, Lex is like, and I'm the one who's been giving you all of this information. And they're like, of course it was you. Because why wouldn't it be? Of course it was Lex. You're the sleeper? Yes.
Of course.
Which I thought they knew it was Lex. I didn't know they didn't know it was Lex. But, so they're like, all right, we're going to split up. Suicide Squad, y'all stay here. Main squad, we're going to go to Apokolips, get this thing done. And then the portal, activates, and Batman is like, what the fuck was that? It was an unauthorized portal usage. What are you doing? And Lex is like, oh, my bad. It was a power surge. I've already got it handled. Don't worry about it. He's like, all right, you're treason. All right, cool. Thanks.
So you finally decided to show your traitorous ways, huh?
Yeah.
I've been waiting for your bitch ass.
Yeah, I've been waiting for this. Don't worry. We're gonna come get you. Stand by.
Wait until I tell Darkseid he's gonna deal with you real slow.
Yeah.
Stand by. We'll send somebody for you. Don't worry.
At the same time that all this is happening too, Spenser told you guys that Batman had sent all the Paradooms to the other two
the other two sites, the other two Reapers.
Right. So the first thing that we see is we're at the North Sea, and the North Sea, we see Orchid get beamed. You can't really kill. I feel like you can't kill Orchid.
That's what I thought.
Not with a beam.
Beamed, and maybe the light just, I don't know. She just had to recover from that or something. But she's gone. She's out of the fight.
Because I thought maybe it was because she brought the house with her.
Yeah.
And she was kind of using the house as a battering ram. And I was like, if you destroy the house, you probably destroy Orchid too. But like they kind of just destroyed her.
Yeah.
But I don't, that was, she's probably still fine, honestly.
I think we okay.
So, and then we just kind of see the Bat people. The
Bab. So this is another thing that happened. Babs got 8.
Yeah.
Damn, Barbara. Babs got 8. I'm sure that whatever happened to Batwoman, she's gone. You don't see Batwing again. I don't know what happened to Batwing.
I think he got popped.
I thought that he was like flying and doing stuff, and then he got jumped and he just kind of fell.
Yeah. I thought he had to die. Back at now, like I said, all this stuff is kind of happening simultaneously and things. You got everybody doing their job and shit, and it's just not going well. So now we're in China, and in China they're jumping on Shazam, and Shazam takes him, and he goes down, and Shazam does his last Shazam. And takes out those Paradooms as he can, and you know what that means. He's not magic anymore. So if that either killed him, or if one of them survived that, they killed Billy. Yeah.
Yep.
So Shazam is gone.
Because
I don't know what happened to Steel.
Because again, what I thought was going to happen, because again, they like kind of made it a point to let us know that Shazam got saved.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing they did that so that we wouldn't be surprised when we saw him later. But I assumed he was going to contribute more. And so
Yeah, I agree.
I thought he was going to do that on the Reaper. Like I thought that he
Mhm.
was going to do his last Shazam to destroy the Reaper that they were
Ah.
assigned to attack.
That makes sense.
But those things carried him off.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They did not. Mission was not complete.
Yeah.
Right.
It was a failure. At this same time, did we see what happened to Steel?
No, I think he just died because I think we do see what happens to Superboy.
Oh no, we absolutely see what happened to Superboy. You know what happened to Superboy. Go ahead and say it. Go ahead and say it. Yeah, he got neck. I said, "Oh, Connor, no! No,
yeah.
my boy was just living life. He was new. He was still new. And I was like, damn, and they didn't even have that long of a life. You know, he hollered at Lois and try to do his thing. He'd been there for 2 years and stuff, and yeah, that was it.
Yeah. And so we see that Darkseid is on Oa just fucking shit up.
Yeah.
Oh,
like
shit.
all the Guardians are already dead. There are a bunch of Lanterns who have died. And it looked like Darkseid was there alone. Like Darkseid went by himself.
Oh yeah, ISO.
Yeah.
And yeah, like he personally destroyed Oa. And I was like, Darkseid, you probably could have done that at any point, but I guess
whatever he says, whatever he was doing, he mentions that a lot of the lanterns are dead. So whatever that he was mad at Batman about, a lot of them have died now, and now he's saying, "Okay, I'm gonna go there, and whoever is left, there's not that many left. I'll handle whoever's left. They ain't gonna jump me. This will be easy now."
Yeah.
So we go to O, as you said. We see
that's another thing that, like, again, if this had been in two parts, like I want to see what Darkseid did to eliminate because the only human lantern that we see, I think, is John. So
yeah.
No, you see, who are you talking about? Alive?
Yes.
Okay.
Because Guy, I think, was there, but he was dead.
Guy was dead. Maybe Jesse was dead.
Because Hal is the one that we've seen in these movies up to this point, and we have not seen Hal.
Oh no, Hal died.
Okay.
In the original flashback, Hal get kind of, in Mortal Kombat, if no.
Oh okay. Yeah, that's right.
In X-Men Last Stand, that one girl, she had grabbed on to one of them. It was like, it's gonna be okay, it's gonna be okay, and then kind of spiked up and killed him. Yeah, that's what happened to Hal. He got he got
a real bad hug.
Oh yeah, he got a real bad hug, and it was So Hal was dead. Okay, brutally dead. Yeah.
My bad. I missed it. It was hard to keep up with everybody that.
Yeah,
God. Hey, that's why I got this written down, because I made sure I was like, y'all gonna know these deaths, because Cassidy, your man, got everybody killed like this. This is it.
You keep coming in, Superman.
Boy,
everybody did.
Why. So now you got the three. If you've been on the Justice League animated show and Justice League Unlimited, there's 3 lanterns that are coming through. And when John Stewart was on trial, these niggas wouldn't loyal, and they was like, "Oh, I can't believe you would done it." And they turn their back on John. Well, they got dealt with.
Yeah,
you had the big fat round one. He got dealt with. You had the guy with the beard. He really got fucked up.
Yeah,
he got Omega beam through his head, and then it was gone. I was like,
that was nasty.
At all this time, John Stewart is crawling to the battery
and saying the oath.
And saying the oath. Well, you got one more lantern that's coming through, and he is about to get fucked up. So, and it's somebody we know. It's Kilowog. And Kilowog gets got and tried to, and Darkseid is just holding Kilowog by the neck.
Yeah.
And at this time, Batman interrupts him, and he says, "I'm sorry, but this is what happens." And he's listening to what he's got to say. This better be fucking important. I told you, do not.
Yeah, we saw Darkseid say to Batman, "Hey, do not disturb me while I'm on Oa. I'm going to be busy, and I don't need to hear from you because I'm going to be busy."
And And whatever Batman had to say to him, Darkseid said, "All right, that was important. I'm glad you called and told me." Meanwhile, choking at Kilowog and maybe beating his ass, and then he finally gets done. And then what happens, Spencer?
Then John is crawling and reciting the oath. He's trying to.
This was petty.
Oh, Kilowog also.
Yeah.
Oh, he got really mad. He's the one. I was
Kilowog
like,
got
Nick.
no. Yeah,
That was
Kilowog, not the neck.
yeah, because he when he grabbed his head, I was like, oh, don't do it. Oh, don't do it.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Also at this time, as the Suicide Squad is going their stuff, we kind of skipped over this. R.I.P. to my girl Shiva, because Shiva got sniped.
Oh, she got fucking sniped,
and it pissed
hole in the
me
head.
off because that was like, why did y'all snipe Shiva? Shiva would have saw that.
Yeah, she got sniped. It was like
Damien
between the eyes, like it was the perfect snipe.
It was that was effed up. And then also Cheetah dies too at this time. She gets hit with a barrage of machine bullets. So
they didn't even address it. Like Captain Boomerang was like, all right, what's the plan next? I'm like, damn, your suicide member just get popped.
But
that's the Suicide Squad.
They knew. Harley said, we about to do what our name is. We going on a suicide mission.
And that's already know. But also, everybody knew. Captain Boomerang, he's that way anyway. But yeah, like that's what we're here to do. Like when you're on the Suicide Squad, that's just kind of another day in the office.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, that tracks. Cause yeah. That's that's what it's gonna be.
So now you can talk about what Darkseid does on Oa as he's about to leave.
Yeah, Darkseid is like, just for good measure, I don't need to do this because everybody here's already dead.
Right.
But just for good measure, send some of the magma that we have that we've collected from Earth. Send a little section of that here.
Oh.
Darkseid says, I need to make an example.
I need to make an example. For what?
I don't know.
An example for who?
I don't know, but that's how bad he is, man. I need to make an example. Send that shit here.
Send it here right now. And so he just said, as Green Lantern, he's so close, he's almost there. And the lava comes and immediately incinerated.
God, dog. I was like, John, no.
The battery.
Oh, John.
Because I kept saying, John, talk faster.
Thank you. That's what I was thinking.
Out there. You're black.
In brightest night. In
brightest day, in blackest night. Just stop hesitating. Just say it.
Yep.
And then power up. But yeah, this ain't gonna work.
Nope.
So, and it didn't. He's dead.
Nope.
Like, that nigga was black before, but now I got charred.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, Darkseid is like, let me finish up here, and I'll be right there. Thank you for that info. And so
send the Furies. The Furies better be working while I'm coming. Send them.
And for the people that don't know, Darkseid's Furies are similar to the Black Order as far as like function. So he basically has the Furies to handle his lightweight if he needs to. Like, they are the elite unit that handle any problems. Usually the Furies are all women, much like the Dora Milaje. Like, normally there's a leader and then 4 females. Big Barda. For anybody who's heard of Big Barda, that's what she's usually associated with, as being the leader of the Furies until she escapes. And so the Furies are just, again, a formidable squad that Darkseid has to handle like pretty immediate threats. Like, they are the like last line before you get to Darkseid himself.
Yeah.
And so we don't know who the Furies are yet.
No.
But
the Furies, I think that they are from the last movie.
Yeah, I assume they're just the normal Furies that he always has, which are just like, like a random, like there's a strong one, a weird fast one, a long distance, like, like a pretty standard, like assassin unit with different skill sets. I mean, much like the Black Order, like you have a big one, you have a smart one, you have a fast one. Like, that's what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
And so they arrive on Apokolips and they get attacked by the Furies. And when we see them, it's like first they step in some water. And the first time I saw this, I was like, what the fuck is water doing? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because whenever they arrive, Constantine puts like a shadow spell on them. So it's like, this should make it easier to get around. Yeah, I did. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
This should make it easier to walk around. And I was like, that's a good move because there are probably Paradooms around. Or regular Paradooms. There's something. Yeah, there's something patrolling y'all. And so, yeah, like he puts, a little curtain over them. And then, yeah, when they step in the water, that's how Mira knows they're there. And then we see that it is Mira who has a tail now, Martian Manhunter who has spider legs now, Hawkman who has just a completely cybernetic body now.
Nigga look like cyborg Superman. Cyborg
and he's just got claw feet. Again, no flesh on his bones.
It looks like Toy Story.
The straight metal skeleton.
Homie just redid the toys.
Yeah, exactly.
Over there chomping. All you hear is metal, just clank, clank. Like, God.
Yeah. Matter of fact, that's who it is. He reminded me of Metallo because it's just straight metal.
Yeah.
And then Starfire, who's got a little bit of facelift, but got the asymmetrical haircut.
And
then,
we just told y'all that there's usually a squad and there's a leader. And we're like, I'm sure me and Spenser were like, oh shit. Please.
As soon as it happened, I was like, I know who's gonna be in charge.
Yeah.
I know who it's gonna be. And then she dropped down. I was like, oh, it's not good.
It's not good. Not good. Anybody else but her.
Because and that's what I said. I said, please, like anytime Superman arrives, everybody's like, not him.
Yeah.
When I knew it was, I was like, not Diana.
Right.
It was Diana, and I was like, we're done here. I don't know what
y'all
gonna
moving
do.
Over. Y'all ain't making it.
Yeah, we're done. Because Superman, you still ain't got no powers. Yep. And Diana's too much anyway. And so
you got Martian Manhunter. And let's talk. Martian Manhunter is they refuse to make and I get it. They refuse to make Martian Manhunter who he is in the comic books because it's over with.
It's over. Because noted, like he didn't use any of his mental powers.
Nothing.
Like
just kind of over there getting bitch like he was in Justice League.
Yeah. Like very. I mean, and that's what happens to him every time, and I hate it. But also, if he was actually himself, there'd be no movie because he would just handle it.
Right.
And so I get it. And so Etrigan is like, oh, a challenge.
He finally woke up.
He started rhyming again.
For this.
Yeah, he started rhyming again. He was like, oh yeah, let's go. I've been looking for you.
Because Constantine was about to get got.
Yeah, he was. And Etrigan was like, a reason to be. I have a reason now. And so, he gets the 1v1 with Wonder Woman, and he takes the L.
Takes the L.
Good L.
Takes the L, and but even though I took the L, I'm back. It's me, Etrigan. And he says, my race is run. I regret nothing as I fall in this fire. It's been fun.
Good.
Yep. So back to the soliloquy. I'm glad that he got to die happy.
Yeah, for sure. Because Etrigan really was like my favorite part of it because I love Etrigan. I thought he was cool in Justice League. Like, that's a cool guy.
Etrigan, like
he's one of those people like you forget how cool he is until you're looking at him and you're like, that's why I fuck with Etrigan.
I literally text Spenser. I was like, bro, I forgot how dope. Like he's just one of my favorites, man. And honestly, I wanted a harder bar. I wanted a harder bar to go out with.
I get you on that. Yeah. I get
Yeah, I
y'all
was
now.
just like, all right,
It
like,
had been a minute.
because-
He had been
because
out the
in
game.
Justice League, Brandon, you know he was killing them in that
bro,
episode.
my man's pen
yeah.
game is crazy.
He
If we could,
was killing them.
like, he can give you a hot 16 at any moment, and this is what we get.
Again,
Even when he was a kid. Even
he had been
when,
out the
when,
game.
yeah. It's been 2 years. He ain't had it in the spirit.
Jay-Z
Yeah.
always got a freestyle on the brain. Come on, man. Come on.
And I was kind of pissed because I was like, that didn't need to happen, John. You could have done that earlier.
Yeah.
But John gets the lasso of truth, and he's able to, break Wonder Woman free of the mind control using the lasso of truth. And Wonder Woman was like, I am Diana of Themyscira. And yeah, cool. I'll handle them. Y'all go.
Yeah.
I'll
I
take
got
care of
this.
these. And so, yeah. They, start moving forward, and then they pretty much get to a control room and they see Flash on a treadmill. And yeah, that was hard to, like, whenever they got him off, it was hard to see.
It was
Bro.
my boy been running
For 2 years at least.
Running.
And he had that thing on the back of his head.
Yeah, man.
I was like, oh God.
And
That was
Superman
tough.
just goes and destroys it, not knowing what the fuck
Bro.
that could do to him.
I thought the same thing. I was like, bro, there could be a trigger on this.
You know what this is. You didn't do nothing. You just stopped it. It blew up. You could have killed Barry. And I'm like, all right,
Barry could have
Barry
died
because of you. Everything's because of you, Superman. That's all your fault.
Yeah. When he stopped that ring, I was like, that's good. That looks like an explosion waiting to happen.
Yeah, I was like, it's connected to his head. That could easily trigger it, just like a Suicide Squad type of bomb type of situation. You know what I mean?
But if he's the source of the power, then I'm sure that, it wouldn't have been a situation where he was going to die. But also, Darkseid was prepared.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I could see him being like, if one day they get past this, you're not taking your boy home.
Mm-hmm.
So they save him, and, Barry's, again, not in a good way. And it looks like he didn't even mind control Barry. He just had him running. Because they didn't have to, like, break him out of mind control. They just were like, hey, they got him off of it, and he was like, I've been running for 2 years straight. Like, it has to stop.
Which is crazy.
And John goes into his head a little bit, and he's like, oh, you're the reason we're here. You did this. Okay.
Which will be a callback. Remember that what Spenser just said, everybody. That'll be a callback.
Yeah. And so then they find Cyborg as the source wall. Now, the source wall is usually a much bigger deal in DC.
Yes,
like,
way bigger deal.
Yeah, like in DC, as far as I understand it, the source wall is usually like the point between, like, if you cross the source wall, you've like stepped out of the multiverse. Like the source wall is like you stepped into the other.
Yeah, I've read a few books where they've gotten to the source wall and it's scary looking. It's just a bunch of faces.
Yeah, because that's what the source wall does. Like, if you make it to the source wall and you attempt to breach the source wall, you become a part of the source wall.
Yeah, like it's a wrap.
The source wall will display you as a trophy to say, don't do it.
Yeah, because there's some nasty stuff behind that thing.
And that's why Cyborg was folded into the source wall.
Yeah.
And so I don't think that was the actual source wall. Because again, the actual source wall is a much bigger deal. But the way that Cyborg had been incorporated into it is what the source wall does.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, Cyborg, he had robot voice. That was not Shamar. That was AI talking.
Yeah.
You think so?
And I don't think
ain't no think so. Brandon, you gotta remember, this is Darkseid's Cyborg right now. And
I got you.
There you
go.
Yeah, you forgot.
So, like,
I thought you meant my bad.
So have you heard, like, there are times when Cyborg will kind of talk to the mother box and it has its own voice?
Yeah.
That was more the mother box's voice than Cyborg. Like,
Gotcha.
Cyborg was completely not there.
Yeah. No, I thought you meant like they used AI for Marmor's voice in general. I was like,
Yeah,
no.
I knew what you were talking about. No, yeah, I
Yeah,
knew exactly.
My bad.
We forgot to mention this part. Since we're there, we forgot to mention that after Wonder Woman killed Etrigan, Constantine said, "All right, well, I got to do something," and he gets her rope of lasso, her lasso of truth, and basically exercises the dark side on her, and she becomes Wonder Woman again.
Yeah.
yeah. He would.
No,
Yeah,
did
for
you
sure.
mention that? My bad.
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention. Okay, cool.
But
cool.
and also, I say this every time. Wonder Woman is still too much.
Oh, yeah.
We
The
see
way she
that.
was fighting them all off, it was crazy.
She's too much. I love Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
She's too much. Okay. And so Cyborg is, a part of the wall, and he gets, Constantine is like, and now I free you. And that freed the Furies also. Because Wonder Woman, while she was doing well, there was four of them.
Right.
And so it wasn't looking good for Wonder Woman. And then the Cyborg was released, which also released the other four. And so luckily that was right on time. But then Darkseid and Batman arrive.
Yeah. He put up all extra calm.
Yeah, and Damian is like, hey, it's me. And Batman just immediately starts talking shit.
Bro.
Like, your mother drugged me to conceive you. I didn't want you to be here. She then manipulated me into raising you. You are nothing but a burden. And Damian was pretty much like, we're gonna have to fight now. And
Fighting words,
he
buddy.
pretty much did that Deadpool. Like, I'm about to
Yeah.
fight you.
I'm gonna have to fight you now. And Batman says, every time we fought, I let you win. I'm not holding back this time. We see in Batman versus Robin, whenever Batman and Damian fight, Batman is kind of just playing defense, like, dodging and stuff. And then but every time Damian gets him, he's like, all right, I'm gonna have to, hurt you a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Just a little
Because I'm still mad for you embarrassed me in front of my friends. I'm still kind of mad about that.
Yeah.
I fell down.
Yeah. And so I think that was a callback to that, because every time we've seen Batman and Damian fight, like, Damian does better than he probably should, and Batman says to him, like, I'm not holding back this time.
No.
Bro, that
And-
knee to the chest.
Batman,
I felt that.
yeah,
Nigga got
Batman
hyper-kneed.
fucked him up. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if Damian got any licks. I think Damian just got his ass beat.
Yeah.
He did. Batman,
yeah.
every time he swung, Batman blocked it and said, "No, nigga."
Yeah, like, Batman beat his ass. It was not good. And then, of course, Darkseid killed the boy. And just before he's about to, he, sees himself. He has a vision of, child Bruce in this same predicament. And that breaks him out, which he then attacks Darkseid. And Darkseid was like, I'm disappointed.
Then he don't attack Darkseid. He throws that damn sword at him and hits him in the damn eye, because
That was fire.
Call back to
Whenever
Justice League War. That's how you stop them Omega beams or whatever. Ha ha ha. Joke's on you, nigga. We on Apokolips. I bet you it won't.
Yep.
Right.
And basically, whenever he hit him in the eye, I went back to Andre Bauer and I said, "You down?
You down?" I did.
You
Yeah.
down?"
Same thing. Oh God, it should have been. That's who it should have been. But anyway, so Darkseid sends an Omega beam, and it was meant for Batman, but Damian gets in the way, and it cooks Damian.
Bro, from the inside.
Which is wild, because this Omega beam was really charged up, because you just stabbed me in my eye, so I'm pissed. And it just cooks him while on Ola.
But we see that Green Lantern.
Oh yeah, like what? Hold on now.
Took his whole shit off.
Damian should be dead.
And
usually thought, didn't it like evaporate you? Like, you're done.
It can do a lot of stuff. He can kind of do whatever he wants with Omega beams. Yeah, usually you just disappear.
That's what I thought.
Usually you'll see like skeleton blinks and then you're gone.
Yeah.
So a lot of times they will teleport you. A lot of times they will obliterate you. Sometimes they just act as like concussive blast. Like there are a lot of ways that Omega beams can happen. And so my thought was, since this is personal, he wanted to do a suffer Omega beam, not a killing Omega beam. That was what I took it to mean. It was Darkseid turned it down so that he would be hurt and like live a little bit. Because again, Darkseid likes to make it personal. And Darkseid was disappointed that Batman just betrayed him and all that. So I'm sure that it was not meant to kill instantly.
Yeah. And then
and so when that happens, one of the things that I forgot to mention. Earlier in this movie, well, actually, we'll talk about it here in a second. Never mind. I love that they gave King Shark a kryptonite grill.
I saw that.
She was in there spraying it and just like, oh yeah, I'm ready.
Like, that was funny to me because I love that Damian pulled the kryptonite sword off the wall. But yeah, whenever they gave King Shark a grill made of kryptonite, I was like, that's hilarious.
Because that's your main source of fighting.
That's what you do.
Yeah.
Like
eating people.
Because in Assault on Arkham, like we see that he has like teeth that he puts into his mouth.
Yeah.
And so teeth are that's what he is. He's teeth. And so
before we get too far, naming some other deaths that happen, as the Suicide Squad is trying to hold some stuff down, my boy Bane goes in and hits Paradoons
immediately,
and he does good. He definitely Mortal Kombat fatalities one of them. He Sub-Zero ones and pulls his spine out.
Yeah, he did pull his spine out.
Gets another lick, and then they like jump him and they eat Bane. Okay,
yeah. So Bane died faster than I thought he should.
And then here comes Black Manta, and Black Manta got one swipe in, and one of them grabbed him and said, "Okay, that's enough." And then he did what Megatron did to Jazz on Transformers. And
you want a piece of me?
You want a piece of me? Nah, nigga, I want you in two. Back. I was like, oh, all right.
Oh God, yeah.
Brutal.
And so earlier in this film, we see that Trigon says to Raven, "Hey, trust me."
Yeah.
And when he says that, we're all like, "Fuck you mean?"
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't think that's a good idea. And so we see that because of course we know that Trigon is a bad guy. And we see that whenever Raven and Damian are looking at each other, Trigon pops out for a minute and is like, "I will kill you, boy."
Yeah.
And Damian was kind of like, "Oh shit."
Yeah, that was scary because then said, I like the way you about to die."
And then Raven was like, "So that's my dad."
Right,
yes, I saw. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
But I knew that wasn't you. I knew that was him.
Yeah.
Thanks. And they've at this point admitted that they like each other. They have feelings, which we knew that had been building up across several movies. We see that there's because Damian kind of lives in a land of skepticism, and so he's very skeptical of Raven because he's like, "Who the fuck is this? Y'all haven't done any vetting. Y'all don't know who she is. Like, what do you mean?" And then they kind of find some common ground, and then they start to start to like each other a little bit. And we see that relationship kind of develop in both of the Teen Titan movies.
And the reason why Trigon says to Raven, "Hey, daughter, trust me," is for one thing, really. I mean, it's maybe a couple things that you kind of see, but Trigon already said, like, if you die, I'm trapped in here.
Yeah.
So why Trigon was saying trust me is because she's trying to hold off these lasers, and she ain't gonna be able to hold them off, and that's why he's like, "Okay, I need to get us out of here. So you got to trust me so I can get us out of here because I don't want to be trapped in here. So I can do it, but you gotta trust me so I can get us through it."
Yeah, and also you're my daughter. Like that was kind of sprinkled in of like
a little bit.
I do care about you.
You didn't know it all the way yet. You didn't know it all the way yet. We gonna get there. Yeah.
But yeah, he was like, I don't hate you. I see why
Right.
we're here.
Yeah.
But yeah, he says, yeah, no, trust me, because I will get us out of this thing. And so whenever Raven sees that Damien is dead or is about to die, or it gets lasered, loses it. Like
Loses it.
like
Can't control it
emotions.
no more.
Yeah, I cannot. I don't have myself in check anymore.
Yeah, I was strong, but I just became weak.
The only person I love on Earth is gone, and I watched it happen. And so, yeah, Trigon escaped, and she and Constantine made a deal earlier because she said to Constantine, "Hey, if he escapes, I need you to handle it."
Right.
And I need to be more than dead. Like, me being dead is not enough. I need to be more than dead. And Constantine is like, oh, yeah, I got something for you.
You got that thing on me.
I got that thing on me. Always got that thing on
me.
Brandon, those knees, he hit him with 2 knees and they were fucked. Yeah, that shit hurt.
Bro, I'm telling you, that was intense.
Like,
because he said, Damien, I'm not holding back this time. And yeah, he didn't.
Yeah. Like, I just saw it again. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, he fucked him up real good. Yeah. And so we see that he uses the blade to pull the gem off of Raven.
Yeah.
And then he pretty much stomps on it to open it. And then Trigon's little like ethereal ghost shows up and he's like, hey, I volunteer as tribute to be your host. I know magic. I'm one of the best hosts you could ever get. Similar to how people try to convince Dr. Fate, be like, I'm the best host you can get.
Yeah.
So use me. And Trigon is like, I have a better idea.
Yeah.
Hear me out.
That was smart.
And then wasn't ready for that.
He goes into he just goes into Superman. Now, the thing I was going to mention earlier in this movie, Superman says, I hate magic.
Yep.
And that was foreshadowing.
Mm-hmm.
Because magic is something that Superman didn't really have an answer for. Like, It's not that he's weak to magic, it's that he's just as susceptible as anybody else to magic. Mm-hmm. Like, he has no resistance to it. Right. And so we learned that in Thrones of Atlantis because Ocean Master is fucking him up.
Oh, he was effing Superman up.
Yeah, like there was nothing Superman could do. Orm was a problem. So Trigon gets into Superman, and for we see the third neck of this movie.
Yeah,
because like Constantine, come here because you're a threat.
It was so fast, I wasn't ready.
Same.
Constantine is a threat. Like Constantine, because again, he knew that Constantine had that blade, and he knew that Constantine could do some shit. So he was like, "No, we got to get rid of you. I got to have you." And so Constantine gets necked.
I was like, "Oh shit, we lost again. That's another lose. How are we gonna get out of here?"
Yeah, and then whenever we see Trigon purge the kryptonite from Superman's body, it was like, oh shit.
That was fire.
Because at first I was thinking, why would you pick a powerless? And then whenever I was like, oh, that's why. Oh no.
Yeah.
Now, we don't need to talk about the fact that there was no yellow sunlight for him to, have powers. We don't need to get into that. But he gets his powers back and they start going.
Yeah. On site.
It's on site. And so they start throwing hands, and Batman, is over there with Damien. And Damien is still alive somehow. Because, the movie's got to happen or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so, Damien does the, remember, justice, not vengeance. You're still a good guy. I love you. I know that you took me in and, raised. Like, he basically says all of the things that Batman needs to hear. Because Batman is like, all that shit that I said out, I didn't mean that. I love you. He's like, don't worry about that. I know that wasn't you. But, and then Lois calls and he's like, Lois is like, Clark, hey, we need to talk. And Batman picks up the phone and is like, hey, I need to give Clark a message. So they use Cyborg to broadcast it. And then it's basically hey, babe, love you. But this is going to be it. This is the last time we're going to talk.
This is it. Lex is already over there on the ground impaled. So Lex died. Shout out to Lex because nigga, you really been helping out. R.I.P. boy.
You really have. But
so all you got now is Lois, Captain Boomerang, King Shark, and Harley.
Yep. And we see King Shark again breaks character.
Mm-hmm.
And wasn't ready for that. And neither was Captain Boomerang.
Because at first it was I am Groot. And then it was a pleasure serving with you.
Yeah.
You can fly, you can talk. Like so yeah. And then LexCorp detonates because we gotta cut this thing off. We cannot let these Paradooms get back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so with that, the power of friendship, Superman is like, all right, Trigon, you got to get out. Because
Trigon was beaten. I said true. Trigon was really whooping Darkseid's ass at this time.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
Yes, he was. But Trigon gets purged. And so it was funny to me that whenever Superman purged Trigon, he got his suit back and a fresh haircut.
I knew you'd go bring that up.
Hey, that boy was looking. Hey, I ain't even gonna lie. That boy, hey, fire.
How he get his suit and a fresh haircut, Brandon?
I don't know.
The power of friendship. That's how.
Man.
Hey, man, the love of Lois.
I guess.
Yep.
It creates a certain effect to where he can get a fresh cut, and he can get a new, smelling good suit.
Yep, that's exactly what happened.
Good suit.
The thing came from the cleaners. Yeah, that thing was crisp.
He dropped it off.
Had that just for men, just right. He about to pull everybody.
Yeah, because his beard was gone too, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was.
Everything
was fresh.
He took a trip to how whenever you when you leave the barbershop, you're like, no, people got to see me.
Yeah. You about to go to the mall. Yeah. You got to let him get a little hole see it.
My man just left the chair.
You get the alcohol still in it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. That Brandon. Yeah. To all the melanated people out there, you got that.
Yeah. Still stinging.
Yeah. So now Superman is like, that was my wife.
Yeah.
That was my wife. Because it's already been personal this whole time for Superman. Like Superman's this entire time it's been personal. And now he's like, I got my powers back and Lois is dead.
Yeah.
Yep.
So luckily not even necessarily luckily, but like luckily for Darkseid, honestly, he's able to like trap Trigon's little ghost in like a sphere.
Mm-hmm.
Because Trigon is like, I ain't trying to deal with you no more.
Right.
Or Darkseid, yeah, because Trigon's at that level. Like Trigon's too much. And so Superman, again, he starts putting a pause on Darkseid because he's like, no, I come here. Man. It's been personal this whole time. And again, now even more so, Lois is dead.
Dead. Yep.
So I don't give a fuck anymore.
Don't give it nothing. This is that Superman that was about to kill Darkseid in Justice League.
Yeah, I'm gonna show you just how powerful I am.
Fire. That was a fire line.
Yeah. I have to treat the world like paper mache, but with you, you
Batman
can take it.
Batman had to stop him. Let me go, Bruce. Get off me.
Get up. Unhand me.
He need to get him. I need to.
Yeah. And so over in, I assume, heaven, purgatory, whatever.
It was heaven. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they said.
Constantine was like, oh shit, look at me.
Is that my beautiful baby boo?
Yeah, with the titties?
Okay. Girl, it's been 2 years.
Yeah, come here. I need to talk to you. Matter of fact, we need to build a pub right now. Do they have alcohol here? I need a drink.
I need to get my hands on you in the good way.
Yeah, I need a drink right now. If there's not a pub, don't worry. We will build one. We got time.
It's fine. I got you.
And so she's like, hey, remember how you ran away? Remember that?
Yeah, baby, I'm my bad. I don't know why I did that. Yeah,
and he was like, I'm sorry for running away. She was like, can you forgive me? Because I'm the reason you ran away. And he was like, God damn it, Batman.
God, you mother.
Like he knew it was Batman. Because he was like, yeah, he just wanted to have like a little backup plan just in case, we got here. He knew that you were, kind of an ace in the hole, kind of, like a really solid last resort.
Yep.
We have seen you do some like last resort shit, and it gets ugly when you have to do it, but it's better than the alternative. So I'm so sorry that we did that to you, but also it's not your time. You need to go back. You're not done.
Yeah.
Right.
And so then he just kind of wakes up and I guess unsnaps his own neck. And
Basically.
Yeah. And Raven, now that she can heal, because one of the things that Superman mentions earlier in the movie is that because she's trying to hold back Trigon, healing is not a power she can like maintain right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do all this. This is my main focus.
Yeah, it's too much. I'm having to devote way too much attention to keeping him at bay.
Right.
And so she's able to revive Damian and she gets the white coat.
She becomes Raven the White.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And so now that Damian's back, cool. She's young again.
Yeah.
She's spry.
I got my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby.
And so
baby.
Constantine is like, hey, Batman, we need to talk when this is over.
Oh,
absolutely.
Me and you.
Me and you. We're gonna have to talk about this
My girl
shit.
is dead. And I could have stopped it. Me and you.
Yeah, no, we gonna talk. Don't worry. Once this is over, yeah, I'm gonna need to see you. And they're like, all right, what do we do? And Cyborg is like, well, I can absolutely get everybody home. Because Batman's first question, like, Cyborg, what's the deal? Cyborg, like, yeah, I can absolutely get everybody home. And I can set up a boom tube with no end point. So we just in there forever.
Yeah.
Me, Apokolips, Darkseid, the Dooms, everybody.
Everything. Yeah.
He's like, well, leaving Superman here is not an option. And Cyborg is like, I can't just, the Darkseid got to be distracted. I can't just be, if he's aware, I can't.
He's not going to let me do that.
That's not going to work. So like, I'm going to need him to be distracted. And if Superman's the one that's going to do that, then okay. And then Raven and Constantine are like, or Constantine is like, I happen to know a guy.
Yeah.
Because they look at him, he's like, all right, let me think. Hold on.
Yeah, like I know a guy who we could use because so I guess Trigon is considered an old god.
Yes, yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that because he was talking major shit. Man. Oh, you're one of the new gods. I am
unimpressed.
That was fire.
Because Wonder Woman also was like, I am Diana of Themyscira and I serve the old gods.
Yeah.
But yeah, he said, yeah, you want these new
these new niggas.
Yeah, look at you. I'm unimpressed.
Which is true because we know that. We know that from any lore, they're the new gods. Yeah. So.
Yes, exactly. And so at first Raven is like, that's a terrible idea. And then Raven was like, actually, that's a perfect idea.
Yeah.
You might be onto something there. And so they combine powers to give Trigon a body. And so
it's him.
It's him. Like he is him.
Yep.
Oh,
and
God, no.
And yeah, Trigon just floats by and is like, hey, I got it.
Yeah, move along, Superman.
Yeah,
unless you want to fight me to see who fights him.
Yeah, like, that's what he said. Yeah, like unless you want to fight me to see who gets to have him, you can leave. I got it. Thank you, daughter, for this wonderful gift.
That was nice.
I do appreciate it. But yeah, so they and again, Trigon is too much for Darkseid.
Oh.
Like, Trigon, but that's the we got to get to that level. Like that's where we are when it comes to Darkseid. Like we got to get somebody who can hang with Darkseid.
Trigon tells them, "Let's see who is going to rule and who's going to serve."
Yeah, Trigon he had the bars.
Oh yeah,
he really did.
Yes, yeah. Let's see who will rule
He made
And
up for
who
Trigon.
will
I mean,
serve?
Etrigon.
Yeah. Trigon came through, and a man was ready.
Yeah.
And so Cyborg, now that Darkseid's busy, Cyborg gets everybody back home, and they're like, "Cyborg, what about you?" And Cyborg was like, "I'm incorporated. No, I, there's not enough of me
I
in
can't.
here.
I can't come. I can't
Yeah,
come.
like I just have like shoulders and up. That's all I got." Like, I'm not the Cyborg in Teen Titans Go that can just live with a head. Because
Right.
in Teen Titans Go, like
He'd be
Cyborg
running
can
around.
take his head off and just run on little wires out of his neck. This
What a
Cyborg
crazy
can't do
show.
that.
That show was wild.
Yeah,
It's so funny though. And so Cyborg gets everybody out, and then he opens up a boom tube that eats Apokolips, like all of it.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's got no end point, so it's just in there forever. And so then we get back to Earth, and it's
but before that, Raven. Let's talk about the Raven Trigon thing. Raven kind of stays back, and Trigon comes through.
Oh yes,
and he says, "What a gift you have given me, daughter. Be well." So they got a rocky relationship, but they kind of said here, "Hey, he's still your father, just like my daddy's still my daddy," and I get it. There's something in there that's gonna be like, So yeah, okay. Now, this nigga Darkseid, this had me cracking up. The portal opens, as you said, and Darkseid sees it. He knows what it is. This is all my technology. And he's like, "Oh hell no, let me get away from that." And Trigon comes and snatches him.
Yeah, Trigon like, "No, come here."
And
come here.
And
with that German.
But Darkseid kind of gets bitchy, and he's like, "Hey, get off me!" And he pulls him into the void. That was funny because he was kind of groveling like that because he knew what that was. I'm not trying to be up in there.
It was like, "No, please, no, please,
no, please, no." Yeah.
Trigon was like, "No, come here."
Come on. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, back on Earth now.
So back on Earth, they're at the Titan's Tower, which is obviously not in great shape. And Batman kind of rolls up and is like, "Hey, Earth is not in great shape."
Yeah.
How bad is it? Well, Darkseid siphoned off about 31% of the core, and so the rotation of the Earth is compromised, and billions will die.
Yep.
Before we can fix it, if we even can. And Superman is like, "Well, we don't give up because we're the League. So we're gonna work it out." And then Constantine goes over to Flash and is like, "Hey, bud.
I know what you did.
I know what you did.
I saw, but I know."
Yeah. They probably have no idea, but I know exactly what you did. And I'm gonna need you to run it again.
Run it back.
Yeah, I'm literally gonna need you to run it back. And he's like, "I promised Iris that I would never." "No, I can't."
I don't give a damn.
Hey, we're past that.
Yeah.
We're not doing that promise shit.
About is gonna be whatever comes out of it is better than what this is. Because this is doomed. It's over with.
Now, one thing I will say about that is the world that they are in currently is better than what happened in Flashpoint. Because in Flashpoint, like, Aquaman destroyed the Earth.
He did.
True.
Because he had that Captain Atom bomb and it went off.
Yeah. He detonated that thing because Wonder Woman's too much.
Yeah. You might have got me, bitch, but I got you too.
Yeah.
It's not like what you think it is.
And so, that happens. And so, this was better than that. But Constantine is like, whatever happens, it's got to be better than this.
Yeah.
Like, it has to be. Because this is, like, he said billions are going to die.
Billions.
Right,
Darkseid won.
It's already, billions have already died.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. We ain't got nothing left.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's looking at his friends.
Yeah.
His friends are
we gonna die.
right.
We part of the billion.
His friends are mechanical pieces. You know what I mean? Like they're
Yeah.
not even
He's like, this is no
themselves.
life.
Yeah,
Right.
no. So this is who's alive. We got Flash, Superman, Raven, Wonder Woman, Batman, Robin, John, Dick, Nightwing, Starfire, Hawkman, Martian Manhunter, Ace, my boy, and Mira.
I don't give a fuck when anybody says Hawkman is not alive.
Ain't no heart in there.
Yeah, no, there ain't no flesh. That is a metal bird. But Constantine is like, hey, do it. Because this is trash. Do it. And so Flash is like, okay. So everybody just kind of watches him, run it.
Yeah.
He's gonna see what happens. And so Brandon, scale of 1 to 10.
Man, I gotta give it a 10, to be honest with you.
I'm glad we talked about that.
Yeah.
That's it.
Larry?
You already know. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad we talked about that. Yeah, that's 10. That's 10. This movie, it does everything it needs to do.
Everything.
It brought, like I say, for 7 years, it brought everything back, and we saw it all. It was like, good job. Every movie has a little, like I said, and you could have done it. Maybe that was a painful, suffering Omega Beam instead of just like a get out of my way. So yeah.
But again, like those things aren't really like problems,
right?
Because that's not an issue for me.
No,
and I mean, the fact that they did all this stuff, you have all these characters to kind of use to tell the story, and you use Constantine. Like that's brilliant. That's so smart.
And that's because that's where you got to go to make like Superman couldn't get it done. Like you got to bring in something extra. You got to bring in something else. That's why it's called Justice League Dark, because Constantine is the one in the front. And Brandon, as you and I discussed, whenever Constantine is involved, it's not clean.
Yeah, it's always messy.
There's always some loss. And that's what I really appreciate about this movie is this was not really a happy ending.
Right.
Like a lot of people died.
Yeah.
A lot of people came out of this thing scarred.
Yeah, will never be the same.
We watched a lot of people die. We watched a lot of people sacrifice themselves. There were a lot of people who knew out the gate they were not going to make it through this movie. Like there were so many casualties and so much loss in this movie. And that's what happens. And like Darkseid got a lot done.
He did. Darkseid won. I might have lost, but I won.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's how it's going to be. Like again, like the only way to fix it is to rewind or rewrite, because this one,
it's done. We didn't.
It's done.
At this point, we have lost 2 worlds. Whatever world was in Flashpoint, that's gone, and
Completely.
whatever world this was is gone. The only world that, like I said, Barry, this is all your fucking thoughts. Cassie, I know I've been blaming Superman for shit. But going down to it it's all your fault. Your mama dead. Let her be dead. Whatever world that was before was it. We don't know what was going to happen now.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So, yeah. This is, again, I mean, like I said, we've seen Infinity War and Endgame do it well, but again, I would argue that this is at that same level, and the only reason it's viewed at a lesser scale is because it's animation and not theatrical. Yeah. Like these movies didn't come out in theaters and all that, but it's the same, like the level of quality, the attention to detail, the storytelling, the tying up all of the threads together. It's so good.
Yeah.
And so, this is a 10. Easy.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was good. It was good seeing everybody. Like I say, Suicide Squad, seeing all of them go to work, and for everybody's on the same thing. Earth is about to die. I'm a bad guy, but we got bigger things. Like if we don't try to stop this, I'm gonna die too. And if I die, I can't do what I want to do. So I'm gonna help out.
Yeah, like
And
they
it was
were.
cool. It was cool seeing like all the bad guys were there in that little spot. Like Toy Man was there.
Yeah,
She mentioned that Batman got Joker.
she did.
Yeah, she mentioned that. She's like, yeah, he's no fun no more.
Yeah, he got him.
He got Joker.
And that's the thing. I'm sure that as far as like being in the Mobius chair and being under Darkseid's control, Darkseid was probably like, yeah, go ahead. Like that one's for you.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, he's no fun anymore. It's like, yeah. But honestly, if Batman didn't do it, Damian would have.
It was gonna get done.
It was gonna get done.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I wondered if we were gonna see was since I assumed we weren't, but since, Dick is just a crazy man now, I wonder if they were just gonna unleash him.
Oh, that's a good point.
What do you mean unleash him? Like what?
Let him out the cage.
Yeah, like let him out the cage and go like feral on some people.
Yeah, like you need some parademons taken out. Just be
or even the LexCorp
Dick.
people. Like you just send Dick in front and he'll take care of some of them for you.
Okay, good. Yeah. I mean, because they did let him out. I mean, I guess.
Well, and I'm guessing Raven is going to heal him.
Well, she could have done it too, because Starfire was holding Dick, and it was either I was thinking the power of friendship happened. You see, your baby is still alive and everything, so maybe I can calm you down. But yeah, that's even better. Raven did her thing. He's okay. Yeah.
Honestly, it's probably the power of friendship, but we'll never know. We don't need to know.
Yeah, I feel like Raven or Constantine could fix him.
Always works. Good movie. I enjoyed this, y'all. I did.
Oh,
I've enjoyed this whole journey that Spenser has taken you guys on. One of the last things hold on real quick. You got anything else, Spenser, before I say this?
So actually, I was going to kind of get into what's going to happen on the show moving forward.
Okay.
So, as we discussed, this is the ending of the DC animated movie universe. Now, technically, there is something that does happen after this, and Brandon and I are going to be discussing that later. So, since this set of movies has come to an end, after the next episode, for the next 10, I'm going to be going back and reviewing some of the older movies that we didn't talk about yet that are not technically considered DC animated movies, but they still are, in fact, DC animated movies.
Okay, so you're going to be going back and doing Batman Sub-Zero, Batman,
yes,
who the mystery of Batwoman and the return of the and stuff like that. Okay,
correct. So, after the next episode, I will be doing 10 of those.
Man, are there 10? I can't believe there's 10 of those.
Well, there are some movies.
You're right. You're right, because we got Batman: Soul of the Dragon. We got
there's some movies that just aren't included in that, and so we're going to do that, and then after that we will start with the new universe that is running currently.
Okay
Gotcha.
So I will, of course, as I always do, I will let you know exactly what episode will be coming next, what movie you need to watch to prepare, all of that. So it will vary the same, but in case you are wondering why the next set of episodes are going to be out of order as far as original release date, that is why. So I will be going back to review some of the movies that were not technically considered. So any movies that came out before Superman Doomsday and any of the movies in between, some of the showcases, some of the movies that were just not on the list of official quote unquote DC animated movies, but that still deserve to be talked about.
Oh yeah.
Gotcha.
And so, again, that'll all make sense when we get there. For those of you who have been listening to the show, just continue. We still got a lot to talk about.
Yeah,
sure.
And so, before we get out of here, was there anything else on the movie, Larry? You had something that you were going to get into.
No, all I was going to end it with is, which you just explained your thing, which what I was going to talk about. I'll just say it whenever it comes through because ain't no telling when the next time I'll be on to say it. But hey, like I said, that's the conclusion. I gave you guys the wrap in the beginning. For the next chapter, welcome to the Tomorrowverse.
I like it.
Brandon, anything?
No, man. I love this universe, this animated universe. So it's kind of bittersweet to see that final shot of, you know what I mean, the sun setting on that universe.
Yeah,
It was tough.
It
But
was.
And
you
let me
know,
say this about that. While there have been some things in Phase 4 and like after Endgame that have been good, I think that this is the route that like I think that with Endgame it should have ended and then started something else. And
mm-mm.
so I think that this is doing that. And I feel that way kind of because of what we've seen from the MCU, but also because I think that this was the way to do that. Like it starts and it ends on a high note. Like it ended in the most perfect way it could, and then you start something new. Because there are a lot of people who are under the impression that the MCU as a whole has been tarnished because they've tried to continue for the sake of money and they've just been trying to throw things at the wall. And I don't think that's the way to handle that. I think that this is the way to handle that. Like again, it started, it ended, and now you can use these same characters, use the same like body of work and just make something new or different or build something else out of it. You don't necessarily have to continue the same thing because there's you don't have to do that. Like it ended. Let it end.
I get that. I hate when people do that usually, only because you cause like in a I don't want to say animated, but in like the comic book universe, you know, they do that stuff all the time.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah,
And
they're rewrites all day long.
all day long. But movie wise, you're confusing fans if you got some random dude playing Tony Stark. People are gonna be like, "What the hell happened to Tony? What the hell happened to Robert Downey?" You know what I mean? Like they know that he died, but they're gonna be comparing him direct. Like I get it. I think it's a little easier to do animated wise, because you can just start over and it's like,
You're right.
it's
It's a
very,
little easier.
yeah, you know what I mean? It's comic books and it's just in a movie form. All right, cool, whatever. Like, keep it moving. But like your casual fan, I don't think they're gonna do well with that in a movie, in a live action setting. But
And yeah, that's the thing. You got to think about the money and all that. But
yeah,
if people weren't confused by the Human Torch being Captain America, then people are going to be okay.
yeah,
Piggybacking off of what Brandon was saying, I get exactly what you're talking about because when we get to what Spencer's about to do with these next 10 is going to be some miscellaneous, like I said, the miscellaneous movies. It's going to be a lot of nostalgia. If you were with it, it's going to be a good time. When he picks back up to what this movie ends and what we just talked about of starting something new. When that first new one came out, I was when I put it on TV and I was like, "Hey yo," I mean Spencer will ask the question, and I was like, I was upset.
yeah,
This is not what I was used to in things, and they definitely just like Phase 4 had some. They got some hits, and they got more misses, and yeah, there's a definite what's better, and everybody's gonna choose this one.
yeah,
If you
and
don't choose it,
that's
you're crazy.
yeah, and that's my only fear is that tying off the entire universe, you've now anything you make after that, you can't even depend on the strengths of the other universe. You got to build everything from scratch. Like you can't even
Yeah,
say you can't do a tie-in. You can't do anything. You just gotta all right from the jump, and you got to make everything different. You got to make animation different. You got to make voices different. You know what I mean? Like I'm just like that's a risky choice. It's beautiful,
Unless you're
but
Constantine, I'm gonna need you to leave Constantine the same.
exactly. And again, that the fan expectation. We all want Constantine to be the same, but then it's gonna be like, well, isn't the universe different? You know what I mean? But
I don't give a fuck. Constantine needs to be the same.
That's
I mean,
what I'm saying.
what we're about to see for James Gunn's DCU is about to be we're gonna see. Like it's gonna be next year is coming up, and we're gonna be like, all right, we about to see. Because in me and Spencer's book, the Snyderverse should have let that cook. If anybody on this podcast is listening, if you have only seen the theatrical version of Justice League and you hated it, you really need to take out either 2 2-hour days or 1 4-hour day and watch Zack Snyder's Justice League. And if that didn't get you hyped to see like what the hell really was going to happen, then honestly, to me, you're not a DC fan, and that's okay. That's fine. That's fine. But that I want that shit to end, because me and Spencer was hyped when our boy got on the big screen. I was like, oh, there you go. He looks good.
Yeah.
What he gonna do? And we'll never know, unfortunately.
Yeah, I agree. I am a little worried because it seems like James Gunn is trying to go the cut it and start new route, which I think is right, but the execution of it is a little iffy.
I feel like James is gonna make it lighter, and a lot of people hated the darker tone that Zack did. I like the grittiness and everything like that. I like that Superman killed Zod. Yeah, that's what you need to do, because I just told you if it's going. This is going. Spencer, what's he saying?
Clark, either you die or I do.
This ends
one of two ways, Cal.
Yeah.
Either you die or I do.
Or I do.
And he started climbing that building. It was like, oh, he's serious.
Yeah.
If you love them so much, then you can
mourn for them.
Oh, that boy. That was, and I didn't know it. Looking at the comments, a lot of people hated Man of Steel. I'm like, y'all crazy.
It wasn't. Man of Steel.
Y'all wild to say y'all
underrated.
Man of Steel was a bad movie.
I think I will say this about Man of Steel, and then I'm gonna let y'all go because we're off topic now. Man of Steel was not a great representation of Superman the character, just because of that. But it was a really good movie, and I think he made the right choice.
Yep, you're right. It was good movie. I get it.
But also, I love the movie.
But it was a good movie still.
It was out of character for Superman, or the Superman that we know. Like, it was very out of character. And I think that purists don't like the movie because of that. Anybody who is not actually a fan of Superman and just doesn't like the movie for the sake of the movie, I need you to help me understand that. Yeah, but I think that Superman purists don't like it because that Superman is not very Superman character-wise.
Because he wasn't Golden Boy Blue like Captain America.
I mean, but also
that's Superman's whole thing.
Yeah, I'm talking to you.
But also, but that is my problem with Zack Snyder. He couldn't understand that way of thinking of like honor. Like, he had Batman shooting people. He thought that was perfectly fine. He thought it was lame that Batman didn't shoot people. He said that since. And to me, that tells me you don't actually know the character. You just somebody gave you the toys and you was like, "Ooh, I'm gonna do this with these toys." You don't actually know what these people do. Like, you don't know the honor and the code. The reason these people love them so much is because they have restraint. You know what I mean? So it's just like, all right, yeah, you can make your dark little movies, where people getting killed and stuff, but I don't really care long term. You know what I'm saying? Because he doesn't even know these people. Where I feel like James Gunn actually knows the characters.
So it was a matter of not honoring the actual character. Yeah. I assume that's why people didn't like it.
Okay.
But again, I thought the movie was good.
Yeah, I
really liked Man of Steel.
I didn't like that choice. I enjoyed that movie. Like, the score was crazy. Like, come on, man. Visually amazing.
But okay.
Good shit.
In the next episode, we will be discussing Constantine, the House of Mystery. So until then, salutations.